What is going on, people? How is everybody doing today? I'm back in the office, back to the United States, having the Kenyan hangover. I wanted to talk about basically after spending 3 months in Kenya, getting your whole life together. Now I'm living like a double life because I'm supposed to go back to Kenya in around January, so it's 3 months on, 3 months off. I don't know how I want to do it. I kind of wanted to talk about a lot of different things. I have a big announcement later. I think we'll get into some drama, although I'm second guessing it a little bit. Um, we have an announcement. I want to talk about the things that were accomplished on the trip, the things that were not accomplished, the things that will be accomplished on the next trip, and then what it feels like coming back, and I don't know, an existential crisis that I could be having. And I think, for a lot of you guys looking to relocate any significant amount of time, I think it'll be helpful because I do think a lot of us are romantic about moving to the continent. William, what's going on, man? I like that military picture there. I used to wear the old ACUs though. I didn't make it to that uniform. But I think, you know, this trip that I made this time was kind of a battle. There was a lot going on. I was doing a lot of adulting type things that was it could be a bit challenging, really. And I definitely don't feel the same like super depressed feeling coming back to the States, actually, despite the thumbnail picture, because I kind of have a mission coming back. But also, I think things have normalized. And when you travel, especially to the continent, and there's kind of like an emotional connection for a lot of us going back, and such, your expectations are really high. So when it gets more normalized, when it's less like, see, Griffin, what's going on? Oh, hold on. I got hey, we got the soundboard back on. What's going on? You know, it's a little bit different when you start living somewhere and you deal with a lot of the frustrations, and especially I'll just say Kenya. There's a lot of frustrations when you're trying to do things. So I've only been back a couple days, but when you go to stores or drive around, the roads are smooth. The traffic isn't as crazy. It's more predictable. Um, Less security when you go places. It's a little bit easier to navigate, and there's less frictions. Even when you pay, you just pay with your card versus M-Pesa is awesome, but M-Pesa is a little bit slower. And those are like little differences, but you start to notice them more as you spend more time um, in Kenya. If you want American aesthetics and feel, choose South Africa. No need to move to a place and start complaining how it's different from home. Okay, I don't. What are you talking about? Um, what's up with the internet lately? There's a lot of drama going on that we're gonna get to as well. And people, when I try to differentiate, is like, is it internet stuff? Like, are people just being weird? Are they trolling? Like, what's up with that? Because people can't hold two ideas in their head. Like, maybe people aren't that smart, but it's like, um, and this is the thing with content in Kenya that I noticed from Black Americans or whatever, is that everything is great when you say positive things, but you can't say anything that could be contrary or people lose their freaking mind. But at the same time, if you just tell everybody everything is great, amazing, it's utopia, you're going to have, it's just the most amazing thing ever. People are going to come and be disappointed or frustrated, or maybe that place isn't a good match for them. And they come because all you can do is say positive things all the time. You can't make any comparisons. You can't explain some of the frictions or downsides of going to a certain place. And actually, that kind of goes into the little bit of drama that we're going to talk about a little bit later. Guyana Brent, peace and love on this great Sunday. Thank you. Thank you. I like that logo there. Peace and love. Hi. So this is the life before permanent move, 3 months in, 3 months out. Yeah, well, as I always talk about trying to be realistic about uprooting your whole life, like it's a little bit easier for maybe younger people, but if you are older, yeah, like I have a business here. This is like literally my business office. I have a house. I have a lot of roots in the U.S. So moving isn't that easy, and I kind of want to give more of a balanced perspective, especially now that I have more time in. And I feel like this trip to Kenya, especially, was one of, again, adulting, getting the apartment together, buying furniture, purchasing a vehicle, getting the vehicle serviced, getting food, like all that kind of stuff, and just like getting things in order. And these are things that you would do if you're moving that, like when you visit, you don't experience. And so I don't know. I think people should know what they're in for, because a lot of people are watching, especially for my channel. A lot of people are looking at investing or moving and being a bit more substantial, whether it's business or whatever they happen to be doing. And I guess I'm focusing on some of the frictions just because I don't think a lot of people are talking about that. Sigma male method. I appreciate you. What's going on, man? How are you? I've been seeing you commenting. I appreciate it. Tim Black, hello. How's it going? What's going on, guys? I think I might get one of the Kenyan attorneys, Franklin, from the interview that I did. He might come on. I don't know. Let me text him. I'll text him right now. Maybe we get a legal Q&A from him, because I know a lot of people have all kinds of legal questions. And so I guess that leads me into, I guess I'll talk about it a little bit right now. Yo, Ryan, get back to Kenya, things falling apart with it. I can't help it. I that's why I want to cover this topic, because there's a lot to it, but I'm gonna hold it till later after I cover everything else, because a lot of you guys check in. Y'all don't want the internet drama. Y'all come here for the chill vibe, the adult content, not that type of adult content, but you know what I mean, more mature, drama free. But we'll dip our toe in, because apparently you're irrelevant if you only talk about business. Jesse Whitehorn, what's going on, man? You've been making me want to smoke some cigars. My humidor dried out, so I gotta moisturize them, or whatever you call it. I'm not a pro. I'm China Moema. Okay. True, romanticizing place is never a good sign. Honesty is important. But see, when you're honest, it's dangerous on the internet. Ryan, you have any connects with Kenyans who have experience getting guests into available Airbnbs? I need to kick my place with guests. Getting them out? Like goons? I don't know what you're asking. Wait, rephrase it a little bit. I don't know any goons yet, but there probably some. Let's add it to the list of contacts that we need to get some goons, but maybe it's just the police, to be honest. True. Let me be mature. Yeah, y'all can be a little immature. It's okay. I was sold on a few places you showed too. Bad, my pockets aren't as fatted. Man, I'm broke. I'm broke. I'll be talking about what my future goals are as well. What internet drama must have blocked them from my there's some protest against the passport bros, or alleged passport bros, that we're going to talk about. Hit the like button. Thank you, Tim Black. Yeah, hit that. Hold on, let me Let me put something on the screen. Here's my Instagram, guys. Actually, like, if you're cool, I'll put you in the close friends. That's when you really see stuff, especially if you're a member. I'll put you in there because, I mean, it'll be a little dry now, but it wasn't before, So, because a lot of you guys wonder what I actually be doing, because I keep it classy on here. I don't really share too much, although there's some members only videos about the situation with the ladies a little bit, but I haven't done an update in a while, and there's a lot of updates to talk about. But I don't like getting into all that stuff, and because of this drama that we're going to talk about, it gets really a little dangerous, So I'm trying to take it easy. How do you feel about the setup? Like, does video quality and all that really matter? I don't know, because this is like a very expensive camera. I got a teleprompter here, so I have something on the screen that I'm looking at. I got all these other monitors. I got this thing over here. I'm can see myself, and I can switch the cameras and all this stuff. Kind of overkill. I'm trying to get up the courage to go to Johannesburg, but you have put Nairobi on my checklist now too. Have you been to the continent before? So I think on my next trip I'm gonna go. Cape Town was on the list. I don't know. I'm gonna go somewhere else as well, and hopefully I can do some real estate stuff out there. But guys, this is a lot of work to make the connections. That's why I didn't do the coast tour. Good setup, good clarity. How's being back feel whack or refreshing? So I haven't been back that long. I gained 7 pounds. I'm actually the heaviest I've ever been in life because I'm not good when I don't have a routine. And for the first 6 weeks, I wasn't in my apartment and I wasn't going to the gym. And then in the next 6 weeks, I just fell out of the routine and gave up, and I was just eating crazy. And as you saw, I don't know if you were seeing some of the posts, I was eating out almost every day, and then we started cooking and it got better, but by then it was over. So my main goal while I'm here in the US is to win every single day by working out, and more importantly, staying on my calorie limit. So I've been logging on my calories in MyFitnessPal, and I've been doing good. So that's my main goal. What else am I doing here? So I have the real estate business here. So I have a real estate brokerage. Like, if you guys know Remax or Berkshire Hathaway, basically we're a small company. We have about 8 agents right now. And that stuff moves when I'm here or not. Although for me to scale the business, we're still small, kind of requires my presence. So, it's a lot of struggles about, like, what do I want to do with the business? I've actually brought on a partner, but I'm trying to find some motivated people that want to grow the company, and I'll be more strategic, I think. Um, so that's what I'm talking about, is like, there's a lot of things like to change and let go. And then there's so many business opportunities that have presented themselves in Kenya, which I'll have one announcement today about that. But I'm having the developers know who I am. Like, when I go places, they come and talk to me. So when I go to these projects, they've been asking me more to come out to their projects, and I'm trying to be really careful about the integrity of the content, because the thesis of the channel has always just been viewing business, real estate, lifestyle in Kenya from my perspective, and with some of my like input as far as my background and experience in real estate and business and all that. And I don't want to get captured by people trying to make deals with me and stuff. So I'm trying to keep the integrity of the content where it needs to be. So it's going to be a challenge. Those protests won't apply to you, as you are not a passport bro. Ah, yeah, I hear you, but I think it's more complicated than that, and it expands on a topic that I want to expand on, not exactly directly into that subject, but kind of. Really broke people just have an iPhone, not a setup like yours. Thank you. Tim Black, I think Joe Berg is the best fit for Americans. I know everyone says that. I feel like you might as well just stay in the U.S. then. And Freedom, I think you are misunderstanding, like, just because I'm saying that the roads are bad and that there's more friction and issues when you're trying to do stuff doesn't mean that we don't like to be in Kenya/Nairobi, because when you say Kenya, there's a lot of different regions. So it's kind of weird to just say Kenya, but you guys know what I mean. Most of us are talking mostly about Nairobi when we talk about Kenya, but we have to talk about it because, for example, I just get in my car, I go somewhere, it's smooth, there's lights, I don't have to worry about, you know, bodas and people driving out in front of you. But do I live somewhere just because I could drive somewhere easier? No. But it is something that could be more or less important to other people. So it's something to talk about. Just like, for example, here's a big difference that I notice in Kenya versus the US. That is a lifestyle change, is that most, like, hiring someone to do something for you in the US is very expensive, right? So only rich people have cleaning ladies or people that can run errands or even groundskeepers or whatever type of labor type of work that you need. But if you're an American moving to Kenya and you have middle class type money, you can hire people to do things, right? Like, even most people, like most ladies in Kenya or families, have like a caretaker for their kids. A babysitter isn't $200 a night. And so that's a big lifestyle difference. And it's something that I have to adjust my mind to. So, for example, um, grocery shopping. I don't like grocery shopping in the United States, but it's even extra friction when you do it in Kenya because you're going to have traffic. You're probably going to the mall, or if you're going to a market, you got to negotiate. But if you're going to the mall, there's security. It takes a while to get there. The cart situation, everything, it's just small inconveniences that you would deal with. But they also have Glovo and services, and you could just pay, like the cleaning lady. Like, if you have a cleaning lady that you have like a schedule with, you can ask her to do it for you and pay her to be able to do that, right? So the friction is overcomable, or the issue is overcomable, and it's actually a pretty cool thing to be able to pay people. You're participating in the economy, you're giving somebody more money, to be able to do things that you don't want to do, and you can get, because basically in Kenya, to me, things aren't very efficient when you're trying to get stuff done. For example, I had a whole list of things that I wanted to get done, and I probably only got half of them done because everything takes longer than you anticipate. Getting the furniture, that took way longer than it was supposed to. Um, Getting the washer dryer cabinets was a whole ordeal and issues, and I had to wait for them for 2-3 days to come. So every little thing that you try to do takes longer than it would in the US. And it's not a complaint, but it's something that you need to realize. And again, in the US, we're all about efficiency, especially me, as my personality. I don't like to waste time because I could be doing something else. So every time you run into these little time wasting situations, it's frustrating, it's annoying. Um, but there's ways to mitigate them where you actually, if you hire people to do things, then you won't even have to deal with that kind of stuff. So these are just pluses and minuses. It's not like I'm crying or complaining, but I think many of the people that I'm talking to have never been here, or maybe are planning to come, or maybe they're trying to expand their amount of time that they're here in Kenya or on the continent in general. And they need to know these things. So it's not a complaint. Let me check. Joburg over Nairobi. Nah. I think I saw a comment before, and the guy was like, I really don't get the appeal of Kenya. He was there. He was like, oh, the sewers are open. The traffic's bad. People drive crazy. Like, he picked out all the things that I find that are not that important, or not why I would choose. Of course, if you want good roads, don't come here, or don't come to Kenya. But I think there's a lot more to life than good roads. You know what I mean? And I feel like that about South Africa, although I haven't been there. I don't really get I don't get it. Like, But I know Jesse Whitehorn's been looking at that. I want Jesse, what's your thing about South Africa actually? Like what's your opinion about it? Because again, really shouldn't talk about it too much, but I just know that it's more developed, more westernized. But you know, they apartheid only ended in the 80s, so there's all kinds of different things going on over there. I will go to Cape Town better than Joburg, especially if you want to travel for tourism. Yeah, is this Franklin? Oh, that's you. Did you want to come up here? I don't know where you're at. This is Franklin, which is one of the announcements. Maybe he'll come up here. What's going on Sumana Explorer? I hope I said that right. I'm sorry. I'm real bad at pronunciations. Willis Wilson with the super chat. Thank you. Thank you. Hold on. Oh no, it's just a member. I'm sorry. Is it? Oh, he just signed up. I can keep your pickup truck warm for you since I'll be in Kenya in a few days. Yeah, man. It's weird because I drive a Tesla here and electric cars drive a lot differently and it's lower. So, and then right side drive to left side drive, it's been really weird coming back. I was going to offer the same. So it that speaks to one of the interesting things about something that Kenya has taught me, and it's probably something that I getting older maybe has been evolving with me, is not worrying about material things as much and owning things outright is a really big deal. So when I bought the truck, I really was just thinking about the practicality of the roads are not that good all the time. I want to be able to go to the countryside. I want to go on dirt roads. I don't know if you watched the Tagoni video, but Arvin is driving his car down them crazy roads, and I was cringing because that car is not built for a dirt road. So I feel like it's getting beat up and worn out real fast. So I was like, I need a 4x4 truck. Also, safety. I'm sorry, Kenyans. This is probably my biggest criticism. Drive like they don't care about their lives. They take the craziest risks. You see, if you're on country roads where it's like one car in each direction, you'll see a truck try and overtake another truck. It doesn't make, why would you do that? You're not even getting anywhere faster. Now the two trucks going in the same direction against traffic. I see traffic fatalities all the time on Instagram and all that. Very concerning. So I wanted a bigger vehicle for safety reasons primarily. That's kind of a wandering lawyer. I would like to visit Cape Town, but I want to live there. 2 Europeans there. I don't want to feel like a minority in Africa. That's man. We'll see if we get into that later. But the way Black Americans think about race and everything is so different than Kenyans, and that's something that I think us going there, y'all need to understand that, because that is not a consideration, I don't think, for most Kenyan people. Man, all the inconveniences are worth it for fresher food with no chemicals and affordable hired support, in my opinion. Yeah, I agree. But it does feel good to hop in your car and go to the store real quick, rather than waiting on people. Then the delivery guys calling you, like it could be a thing. Yes, it is. Wait, have you heard of the new development across from Westgate? Hefe Palace, I think it's called. Someone else sent me this as well. I don't know about it yet. But if it's across from Westgate, is it next to the Diplomat? I don't know. Yes, so Cape Town is gorgeous. That's why I want to go there, because it's gorgeous. It's not really like other than that, that's like my main reason. Definitely a must visit. The quality of finishing and real estate is first class. The scenery and organization of the city is fantastic. Easy to adapt to life in Cape Town. Yeah, I'm sure it's probably easier because it's more familiar. But honestly, I think many of us are leaving what's familiar to us for the cultural connection a little bit more and getting back to basics. Kind of what I was talking about with the vehicle. I was purchasing the vehicle for practical reasons more so than to, because I see like, when I'm driving here in the US, people have nice cars and I'm like, it's just more money to go from A to B, you know what I mean? And it's cool. Like, I don't knock it, but I guess I'm in a place where I'm like, I don't care. Especially, it's funny in Kenya, I'll see like a Mercedes sedan, and I'm like, dude, that car is built for the Autobahn. There's no reason to have like a low car, like a sporty type vehicle in most places. I'm like, there's no point to this, So it's like, dang, people are spending money just to look cool, even though I feel like, once you get beyond that, who cares? Haha, Ryan, driving like that is our superpower, but wait till you go to Hanoi or Ho Chi Minh in Vietnam. How could it be worse? I can't believe it could be worse. This is Franklin from the lawyer video. So maybe he'll come on here and we'll do some Q&A. Plus, this is where this is the subject of the announcement I'm going to make later. But if he comes on, I'll wait for it. The appeal was freehold property, big one. I agree with that. The ability to drive as I would be at home. My want was a nice big home I can buy and don't have to worry about the uncertainty of having leasehold. Yeah, I agree with the leasehold thing.
I like this right here.
It's a big bummer, the leasehold. And if Franklin comes on, we can talk about it some more because as much as guys, this is the other thing. I probably talked to a dozen lawyers. Because remember, that was one of the goals of the trip is to establish some connections and get content for definitive legal information about this kind of stuff, because I don't feel like we have gotten. I still get conflicting information on ways to deal with the leasehold freehold, among other things, work permits, business, etc., etc. I didn't make videos with all of them because the majority of this is okay. All right. There's a lot to talk about here with lawyers. Okay. A lot of you guys are watching the content and then going to do your own thing. And then you come back to me and message me, hey, this lawyer is trying to charge me all this money for this. Is that normal? And some of you have been paying these crazy prices. They're like, oh, I need a KRA pin, and they said it's $100K. Bro, that's no. Oh, they told me I need to do this and it's going to cost this. And I'm like, you could have done it online yourself. Guys, please. I know. And before I got so into this, I don't like middleman services and stuff like that either. But even, for example, Traverse Culture is out there. Guys, don't do it yourself. I'm sorry. Talk to somebody, do a consultation, use preferred partners, which is something I'm going to talk about later. Like, yes, like we've done the groundwork, so you might pay the middleman service, but by paying people, you'll actually save money. To be honest, you really will save money because there is a lot going on. And even if you're a smart person coming here, there's just things that take a while to learn, and you could just skip those pains. I'm the crash test dummy, okay? So I've done a lot of things. I haven't even spoken about a lot of the things yet because they may have to go on members only because some of them are like financial. But don't do the stuff yourself. Like and also Googling is not going to help you because there's what's written and there's the execution of it. And so also in the West, when someone's a lawyer, it comes with a lot of respect where you'll be like, oh, I just hired the lawyer and they'll do it. And you don't have to worry about it. You cannot do that here. I've been very unimpressed with most lawyers that I've spoken to, hence not putting the content out, because I'm sorry, they suck. Like, I've seen them negotiate contracts for people. I've seen them do contract reviews. I've seen them, they will overcharge you more than anybody else. They tried to get me a million times. I'm telling you, at least a dozen lawyers. And that's what I'm saying. I'm doing the groundwork for you guys. And especially lawyers, because I feel like they should know better, and they really try to get you. And the reason why they can get you is because they have that status of a lawyer that we in the West highly respect and regard. Don't highly respect and regard the lawyers in Kenya, at least. Like, you need to be skeptical. You need to be getting multiple opinions, and you need to be working with people that have had success working with these lawyers previously. And then that's the problem, is the success. You could be getting overcharged and you think everything's good. And when I mean overcharged, I mean like grossly overcharged, like significant money. Also, for example, I spoke to a couple lawyers about the Arthi Sasa situation. One of them told me I need to get an investor's permit, which requires a $100,000 investment. You need to show that it's liquid. It's very involved to get that. And there were other permits that are much cheaper to be able to get. Also, there's other things you wouldn't even need to. That's not the only way to do it. And so they will put you in something that's expensive, either because they don't know or they want to get more money from you. And so, guys, don't stop dealing with lawyers without talking to people, please. That's my talk on the lawyers for now. Maybe we'll come back to it, because that's what my announcement has to do with lawyers. Cape Town is gorgeous, and I think Black Americans will find South Africans more relatable because of the apartheid. Yeah, but I think we want to get away from that. That's kind of the point. But in Kenya, it seems like all the development and developers in Kenya are Chinese or Arab or Indians. Never seems to be Kenyan. There are some Kenyan ones. If you ask people in Kenyan real estate, Kenyans, they will 95% of the time prefer to work with Chinese developers. The Kenyan developers are known for not being able to finish. I don't think you could do business this way by just looking at the nationality of the developers, though. I think you need to look at each developer individually. If Ryan Fagan wanted development, he would have settled in Europe or Latin America. I would just stay in the U.S. I don't. This development thing, I don't know why this gets talked about so much. It's not the main thing. The main thing is people. And when I say people, it's like it's culture, but the social experiences that you can have, just a better, friendlier lifestyle. Obviously, affordability is the other one, and just like kind of like the freedom to be able to do whatever you want. Which when your money goes longer, you have more freedom. In Kenya, at least, things have changed in the last 2 weeks. I will look more into Riru development. I feel Kenya is more what I'm looking for. South Africa will feel like America. I'm not giving up my home in America. Yeah, I don't recommend giving up your home in the US. I still have mine. But it's weird because I've been away for 3 months. I came back very less attached to my house, and I love my house. I got the pool, I got an outdoor kitchen, and I built a lot of that stuff with my friend, right? So we renovated the house like with my own. I laid a lot of the tiles, did a lot of the work, almost fell off the ladder a couple times. So I really love my house, but I was like, whatever, who cares? And I think maybe it's just a me thing. I'm just getting detached from like physical things. And again, that's the appeal of Kenya, is that people, that's the connection. So if you're seeking like social connection or just being a part of something, or just the ease of talking to people and that type of lifestyle. Kenya is a great place, and that's, I think, the appeal for many of us. Freedom keeps recommending these things like we're not searching for the thing that we already have. Development, um, economic opportunity, although there's a lot of opportunity in Kenya. But see, the opportunity comes from you bringing dollars, which makes it easier for the opportunity. So I can see how Kenyans would be confused by that part. The Black Indians are Kenyans. Yeah, some of them. Um, the Indians are Kenyan. Yeah, sometimes. Same thing with Somalis. I see that whole thing going around. Part of like northern Kenya is like a Somali area. So that's a whole misconception I feel like some people might have. Um, I'm waiting for a reputable agency list. So I've been so careful about recommending. Um, I don't want to guys. I would have a nightmare if I recommend someone and then something bad happens. Because all you need is like one or two bad experiences when you recommend someone, especially if they're like paying like a referral or something like that, and then it doesn't work out for someone. It would really be bad. So I've been so careful about it because I wanted a tax person, I wanted a lawyer, I wanted. I feel pretty good about the real estate people that I refer. Like when I send you Dennis, I know he's going to do a good job. Communication could be slow because he started getting busy. And so that's another thing we'll talk about, is like the business opportunities and what I might end up doing. But I don't want to send you somewhere and then they drop the ball or, whatever happens. So I've been very cautious about it. The houses are better in South Africa. The communities you need to see. Steen City. Yeah, I'm sure they are. I'm sure the quality and all that stuff is better, but I'm telling, I'm really down. I don't like what South Africa's about, to be honest. You have the minority whites owning most of the stuff. Legacy of apartheid, crime, violent crime. I'm good on that. I'm willing to take my chances on 50 million with leasehold. The vibes in Kenya is more what I'm looking for. South Africa seems more laid back. I'm not looking for that during my retirement years. I see. The other thing is Kenya has lots of different regions that are way different vibes. So again, that was part of the objectives, which I didn't get to all the different regions. I only really went to Kajiado County a little bit. Kiambu County, I didn't go. A little bit Syokimau, which is Machakos County. I don't know if it's considered Machakos, and I may be saying that wrong. But I wanted to visit all the counties around Nairobi to check the vibes. Didn't get to do all that. Will definitely next time, and the coast, of course. Because there's different lifestyle. Like you said, Riru. I feel like the properties in Riru, the because of Thika Highway, is really good because you can get out there quite quickly, and the value for the properties, you can get a 5-bedroom for 20 million, 18 million out there, like a nice property. So I do like that area for that. So if you're looking for a house, oh, excuse me. I think I'm getting a little bit of a cold, by the way, because of the travel. Okay, that's maybe why they like and marry only other Indians. And what I read, they treat Native. Yeah, that is a whole thing, though, for sure. Became a YouTube member. Shout out to you. I appreciate all the members. I appreciate all you guys like supporting super chats, all that stuff. It makes it worth it because I don't know if you guys were in some of the lives when I was in Kenya. I looked tired. They were like, "You look tired. You need a vacation." It was a lot. Like I was doing a lot. A lot of content came out. There's still probably 5 or 6 videos still coming out that are in members first. So I appreciate the support when you guys do that stuff. And then, I think I'm working on some like hard business stuff that's going to be coming out a bit soon, plus the referrals. I agree. Steen City is gorgeous, but its prices has decreasing. I don't know. What's up with the South Africa? Hit the like button, people. Thank you. Genuine connections mean more than money. I make good money in the US, but I'm still miserable. I'd rather live comfortably and feel happy in Kenya than be wealthy and lonely in America. Yeah. It's weird. I'm trying to flip the anti-socialness of the US into self-improvement, get my fitness together, and kind of getting my planning for my next time in Kenya and maybe what I do with business here. It's trying to lock in and focus, because Kenya can be very distracting. There's a lot to do, and because your money goes further, there's like you could just go out and do stuff pretty much every day. Tim Black, I heard the exact same thing about the treatment towards natives. Professions in Kenya like lawyers, engineers, architects, etc., are purely for making money in social business networks. You don't have to go to the West for money, like nurses, drivers, etc. Yeah. Well, my thing about the lawyers is just like, we look at lawyers up here in the US a lot of times. And so a lawyer's always going to do the right thing and all that stuff. They're not going to overcharge. They're going to take care of you. It don't really work like that. So just be careful. Some Black Americans seem to difficulty accepting that Indian, Arab, and white Kenyans exist. It's just the fact that they have to come to terms with. Yeah, but how did the Indian community be treating the local Kenyans native to the country? Same thing with the whites. I think this speaks to the Kenyans' welcomeness to people, which actually goes to the drama that we're going to talk about, because I do think it's quite hypocritical about the treatment of Black Americans at times versus some of these other communities. But we're gonna talk about it. Let's make the announcement. I don't know. Franklin's probably having a good time. Franklin, I don't know where he's at. So, with all that said about referrals and lawyers, I have come to the place, and through a lot of experience, guys, trust me, I've spoken to dozens of lawyers, and I have been contacted by many of you guys that have interacted with lawyers to cross-reference the things that they tell you and have to save you guys from getting at least overcharged or just treated very badly. And I've come to a place to be comfortable with a certain law firm that I'm going to be recommending, that I feel good about recommending to you guys. Yes, I'm doing a referral, so there is like a business relationship, so I want to be open about that. But honestly, they're going to take care of you, and if they don't, let me know, and we'll make sure that you do get taken care of. And if there are issues, then we're going to be addressing them, because my number one thing is to be helpful. And so almost anything that you need to do other than visit, you probably need a lawyer to at least inform or guide you, and very likely you will need them to file for certain things. If you're trying to do business, you're going to need a lawyer. If you're trying to do immigration, you're going to need a lawyer. If you're going to buy real estate, you probably need a lawyer. Just because you're going to at least need a KRA pin and RD SASA. And if you try, you can figure these things out yourself, but are you going to want to do that? And then do you have enough time, et cetera, et cetera? So I have decided to make an agreement with FKC Legal, who are the guy, Franklin and Abdi, from the interview that we did. And that's why I did an interview with them, because I thought they were good. And I had spoken to them a couple times before. They've helped me out personally with some issues that I've been running into. And so I am recommending them for all of our any kind of things that you need. For example, the freehold, leasehold, that we'll talk about it. But all these different types of things with legal issues in Kenya, I am recommending that you guys talk to and work with them because they've helped me out and they've helped out enough people that had good results that I feel comfortable referring you guys to them to take care of you, because it's like it's like the trek to the wild west, and people were getting picked off and getting disease. It was like the Oregon Trail. A lot of you guys were going out there and bad things were happening. And so I feel like that you will be safe working with Franklin and Abdi from FKC Legal. They basically could do everything from the immigration stuff to the business stuff, land purchases, negotiations, all that kind of stuff. Like, because there's so many questions and everyone's trying to figure it out, I think that they will take care of you in a way that you'll be safe with whatever you happen to be doing in country. So this is their website, and I'm going to start linking all of their information. If you guys need some kind of legal services in Kenya, again, if it's immigration, work permits, business formation, trusts, corporations, if you need, again, the leasehold freehold thing, there's some strategies that you could use for that. Just a lot of different things that they can do. So if you go to their services, they'll help you commercial property, financial, taxes, which is a whole another thing. And there's different ways to be taxed. So because they know these type of subjects, because they focus on foreign direct investment in the first place. So literally their law firm was established for people like us that are coming to do substantial business. Because if I'm a business person, I'm coming to establish a business. Do I need a work permit or not? What type of legal entity for the business structure? Am I buying property? Is it leasehold, freehold? Immigration, can I even stay in the country a certain amount of time? Employment stuff, taxes, they're going to help with all that. And they have a team. It's not just them. They have a whole bunch of lawyers that work with them. And the reason why I chose to work with them is that I feel like there's an alignment between, like, they understand kind of where the holes are in the legal services in Kenya, and they want to add some more certainty to it. So they actually have a price list for a lot of their stuff so that you're not confused about what things cost or what you're dealing with. And they're super transparent about that. Also, they have the, I just think they have a similar vision. They want to make it easier for money to come into the country and invest and develop, because they see that, kind of like me, I think that Africa's the future, and I think Kenya's, in the top 3 places to invest. And so they're trying to make it easier. And there is so much friction, to be honest. And there's so many things that you don't know that you can run into. And I really think that, because people reach out to me and I'm like, you could try this person, but maybe try that person. But since I've been developing a relationship with these guys and they've actually taken care of a good amount of people as like a trial run, I feel comfortable referring them. So if you guys are trying to do anything, or you have questions, reach out. I'm going to put their information, but this is their website, fkclegal.com. And when you hit call now, it'll take you to, it's not going to come up because I'm on this other screen. Oops. But you can reach out to them. They have the call now button. You can send, send an email. They have the email here, all that kind of stuff. Reach out. Also, the other cool thing is that they do a lot of giving back, and that's something that I want to get into as well. They have some programs that was talked about in the video. So really cool guys. I think this should help you guys from getting overcharged for KRA pins, because again, I've seen people pay $45K, $60K for them. That's too much just for that simple service. They've helped people open bank accounts, form businesses, also trusts, So basically, any kind of service that you need, they're doing it. I know this sounds like an ad, but I didn't prepare any of this. So that's off the top of my head, to be honest. But report back to me if you guys ever have an issue. Please let me know, because integrity of referring you guys to anybody is really important to me. So I don't want someone to get sent somewhere and then it doesn't work out good for them. But right now, Franklin and Abdi, FKC Legal, I recommend them. First recommendation on the channel, because the whole trip I've been looking for people that I could feel safe referring you guys to, because I get these requests all the time. So I'm happy, really happy about that. Let me check the comments, and then we're going to go to, where should we go? Should we go to the drama? I don't know. We'll see. I'll think about it while I'm going through this. That's not the point, Ryan. They're still Kenyan. A Kenyan would never move to America and tell you who's not American. Okay. So if I get citizenship, are you going to call me Kenyan? And then can I get to say who is and who isn't? Freedom, I see your point, agree with you, but how come when Kenyans go to Arab countries and India, they would never be considered Arab or Indian, even if that's the big point, PC. I'm glad you said that.
I like this right here. I like this right here. I like this right here.
Exactly. Tim Black, Freedom, have no issues with them calling themselves Kenyan. I see how they treat natives is not good, but Freedom, you're free to believe what you think. Yep. And I noticed that too, even as a visitor. I've heard, spoke to you on IG about the lawyer situation a few weeks ago. I was overcharged, but learned a lot. Dang, man. Yeah, sorry. That's why I was searching for a law firm to recommend, because I'm telling you, you're not by yourself. There's like, 10, 20 other people that have ran into these issues. And it's really important to save you guys money, really, because and the right information is critical when you're out there, because bad things can happen, and getting overcharged is like not the worst thing that can happen. So at least that. But I'm telling you, I was experiencing it too. I just wasn't. I had time. That's the other thing. I have time to I'm not there for 2 weeks or even 30 days. I have time to vet people and figure things out. If you're visiting, you only have a certain amount of time. That's why I recommend a real estate agent still, because you need somebody, you need someone on the ground advocating for you. Lisa, the Somalians calls their Muslims super clannish, seem to be the only group in business to trust there, and the Kenyans tell you that themselves. Pricing seems fair. Yeah, they have transparent pricing. So I think it would be wise for FBA's, the FBA word, with Somalians on the business level. Interesting. PC, the Kenyans in India are university students who have no intention of settling there. The ones in the Middle East are mostly on a contract, but always return to Kenya. Yeah, it's complicated. Oh, God. But Kenyans are very xenophobic to Somalians and have pushed to I know. I see that pushback. I hate to see it. Why can't we all just get along? The Indians are citizens. Kenyans are always complaining about any foreigners. It was the Somalis, Chinese, Nigeria. I don't see them complaining too much about Chinese. Complaints on Americans will fizzle out in a new group. Tim Black American. Oh, yeah, FBAs. Yeah, they might target Black Americans next. I'm trying to open a beauty salon. I think that's an easy startup to do, because rent is cheap. You could definitely do that. Selling hair. Someone I know does that pretty successfully. They import the hair from India and Dubai and all that. Another terminal. Oh, they're okay with Indians, Arabs, whites to be racist and attack them. Is that a Somali-owned legal firm? Why is everyone obsessed with the nationality of people? Franklin's not Somali. Oh my goodness. All right. I'm not referring to students. All right. I'm skipping down. Tatiana, what's going on? It's been a while. What is remote online evaluator? If legit remote work, please let me know. I know this is random and we'll watch live later. What? Remote online evaluator? I don't know. We'll be contacting them next week. Hey guys, report back to me. Let me know how it goes, okay? Oh, here's Franklin. I almost missed. Thanks a lot, Ryan. We are humbled and honored to be the first recommendation in the channel. Hey, I feel like you guys have earned it. I appreciate you guys, and I look forward to saving some people from all this BS that be happening. So please, save them, not the bullhorn.
I like this right here.
So it's the Africa thing, but good on them for being a tight-knit community. Hey, $10 super sticker from Willis Wilson. Thank you.
I like this right here. I like this
Thank you.
That's
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Are you planning on getting the Kenyan citizenship? Yes. But I'm not rushing it because there's so many different ways to do it. And I have been avoiding spending too much money on legal stuff or different statuses. I think a lot of people are like, I'm moving there, I'm getting my I'm applying for this visa right away. I've had some consultations where people have already paid a lot of money for their residency, and don't rush into it, because I don't know, I might get married. I might be, because that's 3 years if you get married, but is that dropping a bomb? I don't know. So that might be the avenue that I end up taking for citizenship. But yeah, it's I'm still moving forward, but I'm taking my time. Moana, dude, can you tell us your honest day-to-day experience in Kenya? Have you felt some hate for African Americans? In person, no, not once have I experienced any hate. I see stuff online, which is the drama that we're going to get into a little bit, and that's going to open up a can of worms. So I'm going to leave that for later. My experience has always been great. I feel like I have great social interactions with men and women out there. Like it's just such a good, like that's the number one thing about Kenya, is just the good vibe. And I feel like that's so ambiguous, but it's just a good feeling when you talk to people. Now, see, I don't really get mad about this, because you can't have everything your way, right? Like, we're bringing American dollars, so there's kind of sometimes a wealth disparity. Although Kenyans got money, don't think Kenyans don't got money. Like, I ran into plenty of people that I know they were balling more than me, and they're Kenyan. So let's not act like everybody's broke, for sure. But when I went to the car wash. Actually, I was at a restaurant, and there's a car wash attached to it. And I was like, how much? And I seen how he looked at me, and he was like, 800. Okay. Mind you, that's like $4.50 or $5 or something like that. Okay. For a car wash, which is incredible. But the car wash I go to is 400. And I know that's like the going rate, 400 or 500 shillings. And I didn't like how he sized me up. I could tell how he looked at me, and then he gave me a high number, which is his right to do. I don't get personally mad about it, because again, if you can run the play and people are gonna pay you more money, then whatever. But just off of the principle, I was like, nah, because I don't live in Kenya necessarily, but I kind of do. And so it's like, don't try to do that to me. If I want to give you a tip, then I'll give you a tip, but you try to size me up. But I feel like it's fair game on either side. I think a lot of people complain about it, and it is annoying, but then he dropped the price. So he said 800, then he said 500. And I was like, nah, I'm good. Because the other car wash was literally on the same block. So I just spun the block, But I got a weird feeling because of how he looked at me. I was like, oh, you're trying to do that, you know? And really, I think the thing that I don't like about it is they're trying to otherize me. But I don't take it that personal because I know they'll do it. They'll probably do it to a Kenyan person that looks like they have money, although, or if they're, even if you're a Kenyan diasporan, they might try to do it just because you look like you might not know. It's not a big deal to me. Or is it something related to Austin? Honestly, Ryan passes as either Arab or Indian too. FBAs have different looks, so you can get insight from them. If I greet someone in Swahili, sometimes I can pass for someone on the coast, or yeah, maybe Indian Arab. So like sometimes they'll reply to me in Swahili and start talking to me in Swahili, which I can only go like 1 or 2 levels, and then I can't. Then I don't know what they're saying anymore. I don't like the term FBA. I understand when they tried to delineate the term, but it's become toxic, and I don't want anything to do with it. I'll go with Black American until we come up with a better term. You know, seems like a lot of money must be spent in the process of getting anything done. Cheaper than legal. Like it costs more in the U.S. You know, it's just that it's a bit more chaotic in Kenya because, like, to get a KRA pin, you kind of have, like, as a foreigner without an alien ID card, you got to pay somebody there, or the law firm will do it for you because they already have the connection. But you got to pay for things. Maybe technically you shouldn't have to pay for it, but I always equate that, like in the U.S. though, guys, stuff just costs more. Like building permits, they cost a lot, or they take a lot of time. So you're paying either way. It's just like what you're quote unquote paying for. For example, even with the police, and it doesn't feel good, you know, because I got stopped by the police twice. But a traffic ticket costs way more than what the police are, what you end up paying the police. Now, sometimes I feel like I got stopped. It was very gray area, but whatever, you know, but it's less. So whatever, dude. Just at this race stuff, we ain't seeing this in America, but in Africa. What? Tim Black, there's racial strife in the US, UK, France, South Africa, just like Kenya. What's weird is foreigners telling us who has a right to claim Kenyanness or not. I get where you're coming from. I think at Black Americans, we just have trouble because our views on colonization and what happened in Africa is a lot different. And I feel like you guys have a much more friendlier view of what people came into Africa to do than us. And I think some of that comes from that we're closer to, you know, racial experiences on a day-to-day basis, and not day-to-day really, like, you know, but and I think in Africa in general, it's not as seen, if that makes sense. And therefore, it's not in your face. So maybe you don't even recognize it or care about it or perceive it. I don't know. Because oh my goodness. I think America has more issues with race. But if you feel that way, you may want to consider staying and building in the U.S. I don't know. Oh my God, to Kenyan citizenship. Woo! We're 13% Kenyans, are 99%, but Africans still protecting their oppressors and smoke. Yeah, there's like a thing is that it's interesting. When I feel like it, Tim, we're getting there. I want to go through the comments. I kind of want to talk about some because look, it's a race and culture conversation we're having today. But I want to talk about some of the objectives, some of the goals, the future of the channel a little bit before we get into the drama and everything devolves into and I want to give like ask your questions about the real estate stuff, like the business stuff, because I know some of you guys are here for like wholesome information sometimes. So I want to cover that before we go down this road. But we are going to go down this road, okay? Here's like a little preview. Oh, We're going to talk about it. All right. My worry, because in South Africa and Kenya, there's I'm a bro sized you up and Mzungu text you. Yeah. Yeah, it happens. And the size up. I didn't like the size up. But I don't, it's whatever. I just said no. And then when he said 500, I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm going to go somewhere else. I don't think it's dishonest business, to be honest, though. I think actually it's capitalism and it's negotiation. If you think someone's willing to pay more, why not charge them more? For example, if I do video work or some kind of work for a big company, you're damn right the price is going to be more. Now the impact is going to be more, so it's more relatable than a car wash. But depending on who you're dealing with, the prices could be different. That's okay. I'm not mad about it. Somalis are like the 6th largest tribe in Kenya. It's foreigners from Somalia who Kenyans are wary about. Yeah. Guys, we might have to set a super chat limit because I'm not going to read every single one. Hey Ryan, they do that to Kenyans who look like they got money too. Yeah, I want to make it clear. I'm not complaining, and I'm not saying it's just me. Hi Ryan, great to be with you. Abdi here. What's going on, sir? How are you? If you guys want to come up, well, let me ask the chat. Do you guys want Franklin or Abdi to come on? Because I can bring them up if they're available, and we can have a chat about any legal type questions that you guys might have. Next week, we're going to have them on and do a straight up Q&A, Kenyan legal live about whatever questions you have. Get the free game next week, same time, same place. Oh, Kenya Plains, another YouTuber did a great video in Kenya. The quality and the layout of that area. They looked at Ryan's fresh truck and said, nah, 800. We're non-existent. Oh my goodness. Ryan, marrying a Kenyan lady could totally get you citizenship. And trust me, you've got a very good stock of wife material women here. Oh.
I like this right here.
What's up, baby?
I'm working on it. I'm being careful. I'm working on it. I don't put a lot of the personal stuff out there. That's for the members only. Sometimes I talk about it. There's a video of Indian Club where Kenyans are banned to get in. These videos are everywhere. So that's what I'm talking about, though, to be honest. Hi, Ryan. I'm enjoying the live show. Shout out to Abdi. Black Americans will never think of FBA, only spots where. Okay, so that is the thing. Oh, well, I'll talk about that when we get to the drama a little bit. But this is the thing. All right, I'll save it. It's coming up, guys. It's coming up. We're going to get into it. Here's the thing. Kenyans can size up other Kenyans in seconds by the way they look, speak. Yeah, I agree. The plaid unicorn, member, by the way. Do you know the price range of Hefe Palace? We need Ryan to go back to... Guys, are we tired of the apartment tours, though? Because the numbers are down, Are we tired of that? Because I wanted to look at more land, but it's hard to find the land for sale. And actually, I don't know if you guys know AMG Realtors, but I have reached out to them to look at some stuff that they had in Navasha, and they were all about it. And then they were like, oh, we talked to our media team or a legal team or whatever, and they said, we can't show it to you. I was like, oh. I feel like that's very shady, to be honest. These guys that don't want to show what they have. And I feel like it's such a big red flag because, for example, Pandora, they hit me up every time they got something going on. They're like, hey, we got this. Can you show what we got? Like, they want to show what they're doing. They're proud of what they're building. And I think it's red flag. Like Haas Consult does that where they don't want you to, they don't want no content creators. They don't want anyone to show. I've been to other places actually out in the Hriru. Tattoo City does that. They try to keep control over what you can show people, and I think it's shady, and I don't like it. And I get it. Look, content and all that stuff is a little bit newer here. It's a bit taboo, and these corporations want to keep control of the message and all that. But if you got a good product, I'm sorry, it's a red flag to me. I get where they're coming from. I just don't agree. Africans had 1,000 years of slavery. Oh my gosh. You see, Griffin, member, what's going on? I know we haven't chatted in a while. How are you? Sundays are better when you're streaming. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm missing the Eagles game, which I was trying to watch some football, I was trying to watch some Premier League. Oh my gosh. I don't know if you guys remember, but remember I talked about a football club and maybe wanting to like do a little create some opportunities for kids, a football club, you know, training and as obviously having like a senior team and all that kind of stuff. Well, there's a jersey company, and they're a small jersey company called Jersey Bird, and they bought a lower division Kenyan team that's actually on Thika Road, Kauai Pride, I think, near the Riru area. I think they play, and he either bought them a place to stay or is renting them like a house. Like he's providing facilities and he's trying to improve the team and get the team promoted. I don't know if anyone's seen Welcome to Wrexham. It's probably one of my favorite series because some American actors bought a low, almost amateur division Premier League, English football team, and now they're promoted to the second division. They invest in the community. They're doing all this cool stuff. Like, I feel like it's such an amazing thing. And I had a similar concept. Like, maybe I want to get involved in like the football league and especially like trying to find players. Because actually during the Chan tournament that they just had, is basically like a North Africa, East Africa tournament. I know Kenya has a player that went to Wolfsburg, which is a German top division team. And so it creates opportunities for people. But anyway, this company, Jersey Bird, actually bought a team and is providing housing and meals and things like that. I think it's super dope. I actually was in communication with them a little bit. So I'm going to go out there. I haven't figured out what the collab is, but I want to just go check it out. I have no idea, but it's super cool. I ran into that. I'm almost into the drama part. I'm getting there, guys. I'm trying to get through some of these comments, and then I'm going to do it. Always appreciate the super chats. Always appreciate, the support. Somebody signed up for membership. Really appreciate that. I guess let's talk about the future of the channel. I'm going to make more personalized content while I'm here, kind of like what this live is about. I'm going to talk about why. I'm going to try to figure out a way to articulate why I'm doing this and kind of moving to Kenya and moving my whole life. It's a lot. I don't even know who I am anymore. Like, I've been here in the States for 5 days now? 4 days. It's like I'm in the Matrix. It feels really strange, even in my house. Like my house smells funny. And when I say it smells funny, and not bad, but just like foreign to me, how you usually get used to that when you're in a new place. And then I have my property in Kenya. I have stuff here. I have the business here. And it's like, how do I want my life to be? It's very challenging. So I kind of want to talk about all that kind of stuff. So I'll be making videos like that. I'll probably talk about one with driving. But the lives are going to be cool because we're going to do some content with FKC Legal, with Franklin and Abdi to answer a lot of your guys' questions. And we'll still be doing content, but obviously if you're in the membership, I won't be having Kenyan specific like home tours and all that kind of stuff while I'm here. So just understand what the expectation is. But anybody staying on the membership, I really appreciate you guys. And yeah, that's what the future is. Lisa said, I'm worried about Austin Holloman because they do that machete stuff in Kenya. Yeah. See, y'all get mad at me when I say gun license, but y'all unarmed. Oof. Yeah, but see, okay, we're gonna get into it. I'm going through the comments. Most of the content creators have abused the privilege of filming their properties. What does that mean? Like, how did you abuse the privilege? I don't know what you mean. Yeah, I'm talking about Austin. Maybe we'll get into it. Yeah, okay, we're gonna get into it. Oh, Ryan, enjoy Kenya. It seems many black people really like it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the drumming y'all talking about. It's too much for me going back and forth. But I'm not trying to get into all the FBA stuff anyway because I think I get the arguments. It's a little divisive. Anyway, we talked about the future of the channel. My next trip, we're going to establish more professional relationships. So we got FKC Legal. Probably want to do something with taxes, although FKC Legal will help you guys with your taxes. I need to find a good way to locate land. So I've decided, or I haven't decided, I'm like 80%. I'm dreaming about this. This is the dream that I'm having. I think I want to get 10 to 20 acres and build a ranch house because I can't live in an apartment forever, and a farm. And I'm thinking dairy or chicken egg, layers for chickens, and then maybe avocado depending on the temperature in the area. I want to do some farming. That's what I want to do, I think. So I want to get a whole bunch of land, and then I'll put the ranch house on one of the acres on the land, and then the rest of it is going to be a farm. And I really think that's what I want to do. I didn't know farming can make a lot of money, and it's not really about making money because it's about employment and also like providing something of value. And I think it's just a peaceful lifestyle and something that I'm really interested in. The issue is, and that's why I went to I can't say it, Magadi, yes, and because I wanted to drive through Kajiado County, and so I basically drove through most of the county on Magadi Road, all the way down to the lake. Now there's plenty more to see, but I'm scouting areas. Like, what region do I want to live? Malindi or Kalifi County is very interesting to me. I haven't been out there. Way different climate. Also, I want it to be driving distance from Nairobi, whether it's like an hour and a really, I want to not be more than 2 hours from Nairobi, but we'll see because I really don't want to pay more than $1 million per acre. So 15, 20 acres, 15 million shillings. And I got to save. I don't have it all right now to do that. And then obviously the leasehold freehold's an issue. And I'm like, well, if I eventually get married and get citizenship, it's not an issue. Plus, this is another thing that I'll put in membership only. There's an investment vehicle I've invested in, and also some entities that I have that help with the leasehold freehold issue, but they're new, so I don't really want to like advise people that direction. But that's kind of what I'm doing. But if you want to know about some of the moves I've been making financially, actually, did you know government bonds in Kenya are like 13%, and that's a bond, so that's just a loan. So you could buy a government bond at 13%, and that's the baseline return. And I've been getting into the markets in Kenya. It's very interesting. The returns are very high, and I obviously because of the risk is higher, but also less volume, less saturation. You could buy like Safaricom stock, and they're M-Pesa is taking over, especially if it continues to spread. I'm throwing these ideas out there. I'm not saying you should or shouldn't, but these are some interesting considerations that I've been bumping into. There's some investment funds in Kenya that invest in Kenya. So that could be a way to get some exposure over that way as well. But here's the thing. It's not like opening a Charles Schwab account or a Robinhood account. So again, this is where you might need the legal services and an entity and all that, because I don't know if you can. Because even opening a bank account, usually you need a work permit, although there's ways to do it. Again, FKC Legal, reach out to them. There's ways to set that kind of stuff up. Respect Ryan's channel. He is not your dear leader, Tariq. Oh my gosh. All right, guys. I'm cool with the open discussion, but let's not take over the chat with this back and forth. All right. You know, and I'm not even reading all the stuff, but I don't want the chat getting polluted with this whole back and forth too much. Okay. So just take it easy, or I might time some of you guys out just to not clutter the chat, because you know this happened the other time and people are upset. So I'm just trying to, um, you know, just keep it cool. Kenyans would love to see the American lifestyle, the way of life, the apartments, all of it. Yeah, but like I actually my audience is 40% coming from Kenya, but I don't know. It's not really part of the channel, and I don't know what to show you guys. Honestly, if you guys want to see it, I have this YouTube channel's existed for 7 years. I have a vlog from like when I was flipping houses. If you dig through the channel, there's a lot of stuff in there, and I was, oh my goodness, a really long. It's been a long time, and it's cringe. I can't even watch it, but I leave my stuff up there because that's a record, and I always like looking back at it. So, and this is the other thing. If you guys want to know where I'm about, you can go back and look at that stuff. Like I've been in real estate a long freaking time. Shouldn't be going where they're harmed. Okay. I like the idea of land and farming. I think there's something peaceful about farming and building life and like growing things and being fruitful. And taking, especially like it's a very like, yes, you're buying the land and you're changing it a little bit, but farming, I don't think it hurts anything. You know what I mean? And then like, 5 cows for dairy, if you do them right, can make what is it? 1,000,000 shillings a year? That's pretty good. Brian is like a parent sighing at his naughty children. I don't, because I'm new at this stuff, guys, a little bit with like the moderation and all that, and I'm big on. I don't care what people say, to be honest, but I don't want them to pollute the experience of the live, because we do have good vibes, but a little conflict's okay. But it gets into these old trope arguments with the FBAs and all that kind of stuff. It's like that's such a that's a tired thing. Also, my Lynn and Googie interview still is not out yet, and that came up in that as well. So I'm worried how Kenyans are going to perceive that interview. So we'll see. Oh my goodness. I think okay. Khalees is doing it, but you got to be careful about like, and I'm not saying I know she means well. I just think like these things are hard to make investable. That's my only thing about that. But I love what she's doing. Actually, that's why I wanted to start doing the farming and stuff, because I saw like she's out by Navasha. It just looked like a really cool lifestyle. Plus, again, you can employ a lot of people, which I think is good. No, more like 1,000,000 a month. If you're 1,000,000 a month. I said 5 cows though. 5 cows ain't making 1,000,000 a month. Yeah. But see, like now when you get into processing, now you're looking at significant investment, and the land already is going to be, 100,000 USD is kind of my budget for the land, and I want to get at least 10 acres. Plus, I want to put a house, so the house will come first. So I don't have unlimited money to be investing in all that stuff. So yes, and honestly, that's what's missing is processing. But dairy, Brookside Farm, which is owned by like the Kenyatas, I believe, has like a monopoly on dairy. So I don't know what. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Lisa is hype. I think 5 cows can do 1,000,000 a year. From what I ChatGPT and some calculations and all that. That's kind of what I was coming up with based off of the math. All right. Well, was that it? Oh, okay. So the other The other thing that I may do in Kenya, and you guys are forcing me to do it, I might make the real estate brokerage in Kenya, because I think the level of service, especially for you guys, that's catering really. I mean, basically, I just want a high performing, high service real estate brokerage that helps people buy and sell. Um, that's something that I'm looking at doing. I'm part retired. If like I do have this business, but I'm not like in the day-to-day grind of things, and I don't want to get back into like heavy grind mode. So how could I starting a business is hard. I've done I have this business here, and maintaining this is kind of a headache sometimes, So do I want to get that involved? But I feel like the thing is there's a lot of opportunity, because a lot of people have been buying that probably would have bought with the company that I would establish. And I think we could provide a service that's going to be a bit more relatable. And again, the thing with time, people, if you're on a 2-week vacation to Kenya and you want to look at real estate, you don't have a lot of time for people to be late and to be wasting your time and all that kind of stuff. And so we would be catered to that, which, sometimes is a little challenging. James Ed, member, what's going on? Appreciate the content. It's been illuminating. Appreciate it. What would you like to see in the future? Oh my gosh, you guys are still going back and forth, polluting the chat. Well, I think those are all the things I wanted to cover. Again, next week, if you have legal questions, we're going to have Franklin and or Abdi on to talk about all things legal in Kenya. And you're going to be able to call in or ask your questions, and they're going to answer them. And that is going to be a great way to get free information, and they get to demonstrate their knowledge and build I want to build trust in a relationship. So that's what we're going to be doing. Please do it. Oh, the real estate thing, I know, but training someone, hiring people, like, okay, now I need a different business entity, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Work permit, what am I doing? Willis Wilson, $5 super chat. Thank you so much. How come he the only one? Shame on y'all. A good way to find land, marry into land. Oh, I need to find a Kikuyu lady then that has some land in Kiambu County, huh? That land is expensive. That's funny. Or Maasai lady, Kajiado. Kassarian. I like Kassarian, was really nice, right past Run Guy in the hills. Very nice. Please do it. I will look into dairy goats. Yeah, the goats are kind of cool too. Plus they're less work. Yeah, you can let them graze. Wolf stack, good point. Maybe get an investment pool for. Yeah, I thought about that. I don't want to handle anyone's money. I literally filed like a business to do. I have a whole thing, and then I decided not to. I don't want your guys' money, to be honest. I don't want to be responsible for your guys' money. Not Willis trying to make Ryan a sugar baby. I know some famous ladies out there, actually. Some roads are named after some of their family members. Looking for a sugar mama for a farm, Lord. Kassarian is good desert land. Further out is more desert, I think, but closer to Run Guy, like, doesn't seem too. It's not as sandy, but it definitely does get sandy, I think. Run Ryan, aside from real estate and agriculture, what business opportunities are you seeing on the ground? Honestly, everything's a business opportunity because if you bring customer service excellence, you're going to do well. I always think of something that's export. I was thinking leather goods, right? Like, what if you got some of these really talented artisans to make some bags, leather bags, like like Gucci or whatever. And I think there would be a really big demand if you branded it and market it, where all the products come from, who's making them. I think you could make a really dope leather products business, or really almost any kind of business. And then I would probably shoot for exportation to the US, Europe, etc. But like, I would want to brand it myself and sell direct to consumer. I think that could be cool, especially like you can not handle a lot of products at once because you could have a high price tag. I think that would be cool. The furniture thing is an idea because you could do bespoke furniture, custom furniture made to order. That would probably be cheaper than if you got it made in the US despite shipping. I don't know. Austin's got that import export guy, Kevin, that I would love to know what type of cost and hassle it is to export things. And like the size, I know like if you get a whole shipping container, it's one size. Another idea that's a local thing is like make like a Home Depot type business. Basically, you have all your building supplies all under one roof. I think that's cool. Some other things that I've researched is, what do we call it? Precast concrete products. So there's a way to build properties with precast like wall slabs where you can build the house faster. Also, you can do like culverins and stuff like that. The reason why I'm talking about precast or like more like finished concrete products is that there's a couple companies that have a monopoly over cement and concrete. And so I think if you just sold precast items, it is probably something that you can do. Another thing with the farm, I want to get like an excavator and like make roads. Because like some like local communities do their own roads a lot of times, right? Like when they're further out, the area will pay for their own road. So if you have like an excavator, you could do a lot of things. You could dig, you could do irrigation, you could do all kinds of stuff. And that's like a pretty good recurring service, although maintenance on the vehicle and parts probably could be an issue. And mechanics that can fix that excavator could be an issue. Can't believe a batch of 10 hired people to make some procurement cause a whole AA go crazy, pronouncement go crazy. Just ignore it. I don't know. When people are threatening you, I don't think you could just ignore it, though. I was listening to a tax consultant for expats, and it can get a little complicated. It's a headache. I know, Kassarian. It's desert bush. I don't know. Like before you get over the hills and stuff, it's not that deserty, but maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Whatever. Lord Ryan, African kept men. $10, Jesse Whitehorn, member on top of that. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Jesse. Sell U.S. property to Kenyans. Sure. I guess. Get the likes up. Darnell, $2 super chat. Thank you. Ryan, glad to see you're doing well. Well, I'm not doing well because I'm like 258 pounds, 254. That's crazy. I was down at 215 2 years ago. That's bad. Martino, is that a good market Kenyans would buy as foreign buyers? That's the funny thing. Foreign buyers, it's easy to buy in America. My wife has sold land in Kassarian. Oh, really? Oh, this is Kung Fu Panda. All right. Well, then I'll argue that not all Kassarian is desert because I seen it, especially with the 800 and workers coming to Nairobi. The leather bag thing is cool. A company called Joke does that, and they are winning. I've heard. I think any because I think there's a big demand for where your products come from in the US and Europe. And so almost any self-branded product probably could do well, you know? So I think a lot of those, I think there's a lot of opportunity. Bespoke leather product, yeah, bespoke would be cool. I'm looking forward to the Lennon Googie interview. Yeah, and it's funny because I did the interview earlier when I first got there. So honestly, some of my perspective might be different. I don't even remember what I said in some of it. We talked about like zoning and land and a lot of stuff like that. So it'd be quite interesting. Hey Ryan, what camera do you use for the condo tours? I use a Pocket 3 DJI. Best camera ever for vlogging and everything, to be honest. Oh, yeah, see? Lots of ideas there since Africa is really developing custom-made furniture to the US. Yeah, depending on shipping. I don't know what the shipping looks like, but a bespoke piece of furniture would cost an insane amount in the US. And so these really talented artisans that make furniture could, if you open them up to some kind of export market and maybe have a website where they can place their orders and then they get it made, you would have to do quality control because some of the furniture I got, the seams are a little funny. There's a little weirdness with it, which you would have to clean up, which wouldn't be acceptable in the US, especially at the prices you try to sell. But I think super premium products where you show where they come from and everything, and if you do good marketing around it, I think you can sell a lot of different type of products. Bespoke, almost anything is definitely a market. And then, like real stuff, because we're buying most of our stuff in the US from China. It's flimsy, it breaks. Not for nothing, like the furniture in my apartment, not perfect, all of it, but it's heavy. Like the bed, you can't just nudge it and it moves. You need some people to move that thing. There's real heavy wood on there. So the quality, that's why it's hard to compare stuff from the US to Kenya, because even with the houses, right? It's a concrete house versus wood framing. These things don't really equate exactly one for one. Lots of Australians are in Southeast Africa doing dairy farming. Interesting. Yeah, it cost around 100 to 500K in Malawi. Saw a video of it. Kabisa, his stuff is very, very good. Hey, that's cool. They're already doing it. No, not me. We'll get into it in a second. Caesarian is not desert. That's what I'm saying. And y'all are getting on my nerves because y'all think y'all can pull your card on me because I haven't been in Kenya that long. But you know how much exploration and how much I spend time interacting with legal services, dealing with business people, meeting with developers, now doing road trips and talking. Like, just because you were there longer don't mean you know more than me. And I try to be humble about the knowledge, but some of y'all getting kind of crazy with acting like, you could trump me on information. What's up, Ryan? I know you're blown to be back in the States. I'm only excited about getting in shape because of social life and all that stuff here, which isn't that bad for me, but I'm locking in the gym. I'm getting down to 205 pounds. I'm at 250, 255. I'm gonna get down. You can ship it e-commerce. Yeah, but what's the tariff situation? What's the export? How do you even? I don't know how to export all that stuff. Don't forget tariffs. Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Halfway.
Kajiado was a good place to look into. Insignia, Nanyuki. Yo, Nanyuki got a lot of whites up there, though. I was planning to go to Nanyuki before I left, but I didn't make it. Nairi. Yeah. I know. I'm planning to get out that way. Caesarian is semi-arid, not desert. Yeah, see?
I like this right here.
Austin had some guys who do good woodwork. If you really focus and push that, they do well. Platter. Yeah, I thought that was cool. I think, and I don't know if Austin be taking shots because he be talking a lot of trash about real estate. But I agree, like that type of business is really good and helpful. and it'd be cool to get involved. But I think you can't approach these things in a naive, idealistic way, and we're going to get into it. Yes, that definitely. Okay. I could see you opening up real estate brokerage in Kenya, specifically catering to expats wanting to buy property. Yeah, I know. Oh, thank you for the $5 super chat.
I like this right here. I like this right here. I like this right here.
Whoa there.
I just, do I want to take it on? Because I know training people is going to be a headache. Probably have to buy a vehicle so they could take them around. And, but I mean, it's a natural progression. This is literally what I've done my whole career. I shouldn't tell you guys this, but I've been in talks with multiple people about partnering with existing real estate companies or legal companies that want to expand into real estate sales, because I think it may be a better fit to enter an already established infrastructure. But we'll see. Partnering in business is like getting married, and so you got to be careful. And if I put my name on it, it's got to be dope. As a heavy-set bald man myself, are the women still interested? Of course, I got the money as well. I'm playing. Okay. I think I'm giving different energy because I'm not making myself as super available as I was before, but you will definitely get a lot of attention. I think it's the light skin thing more than anything, to be honest, because they love some light skins, even like with the Kikuyu ladies, because they're usually lighter, they get more attention. But you'll do, you'll do well, but don't be a passport bro, because they're gonna ban you. But I'm a little more out of shape than I was when I first came, and I could feel the difference, to be honest. So there is that. But also, thank you for the $5 super chat. With the right marketing, it could work in branding. Yeah, I think marketing and branding, you could sell coffee, you could sell tea, because if you show where it comes from and all that stuff, I think people are ready to buy it. But it could be really any product. I think, and it'd be cool, like what Austin did, just partner with someone that's already making stuff and help sell it, and maybe put some, manufacturing production efficiencies behind it, plus being able to export. That's the way to go. I think so too. Rentals and purchases. Kung Fu Panda, I was one of the people who referred you to one of the lawyers, and it's, oh my gosh, what's wrong with Nanyuki? I don't know if it's wrong, but I don't know if it's my style. Although Mount Kenya looks nice, but I don't want to be going, and then it's like all white people up in there. Not trying to see that. Sorry, I know you're a white guy, Kung Fu Panda. It's no offense, but it's not what I'm there for. Austin needs to learn about branding and marketing. Taking shots at you, yes, playfully, but yes. Darnell, you could definitely find a wife out here for sure. Y'all gotta be careful about the wife thing. It's hazardous out here, trust me. When is the Lynn and Googie interview coming out? I don't know. I keep asking them. They play with the algorithm, so that I think they're waiting for certain themes to be trendy. She's doing a lot of historical rewriting of African history and stuff like that. So I think they're waiting for a time for, I don't know. I'm a little worried because I hope they don't get mad at me. Darnell, there's something for everyone in Kenya. Looks are not top of the list. We have a different value system. As an older gentleman, like this age with the little gray hair, they really love it. The age gap thing is not very taboo. Darnell, big wealth in Africa. Trust me, it'll be good. I'm not the alibi vibes. What? Okay, passport bro, banned video. No one was threatened in that video. Oh my gosh. Relax, dude. Darnell, your picture does not give off heavy set. You are handsome and should not have a problem. Okay, are we matchmaking?
What's up, baby?
City boy, city boy.
And Yuki has a white population because of the UK military base. Yeah, I know, it's up there. That Kung Fu is a Mzungu. Yeah, he's a Mzungu. And he says our country. Interesting. Oh, that's the reason for Nan Yuki. Okay, then Kenya and Africa is not free. Dude, shut the heck up. No wonder you have been a little rude towards me. Oh, now you're a victim. You're getting treated the way that you're acting. I don't get wife scam. Remember, don't bring her to America. That's the other, that guy that brought the girl and she left. Ryan, you are not old, older gentleman. I feel old. I'm still in the soccer league, and I'm telling you, I can't play like I used to. I'm not gonna lie. Kung Fu Panda, you're just very opinionated, which I am too. But don't be so strong with the opinion and then cry when you get pushback. Also, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. They were very clear threats. Yeah, like you're one of them. I'm gonna correct the record, guys. Like that's corny. Oh, it's desert. It's very like, dude, calm down. That's corny. Don't be corny. I love you, but don't be corny, Lisa. And there's a lot of commenters that do that, and I'm sorry, with that energy, you're going to get grinded up. Sorry. Oh well. Oh, I don't think they should pronounce that word that way. Like, shut up. I don't care whether they're Kenyan or whatever. Like, dude, relax. If you're entering zaddy status, you will be fine with the lady. Oh my God.
City boy, city boy.
God. I like this right here.
All right, without further ado, let's get to the drama, guys. So, okay, all the wholesome content, we're going to get into the drama. Yep, we're talking. Okay, so I'm sure we'll cross paths at some point. So I always want to make sure I talk about people the way I would speak to them in person. So let's see what's going on. I skimmed the video and I saw the Instagram story. See, Griffin, I'm telling your husband on you.
Oh God.
So, I always want to. We'll see. We'll see. I saw his Instagram story. And Kid Greatness was catching some heat. I bumped into Kid Greatness before, so I spoke to him, quickly. Dang, I'm getting a stuffy nose out here. Oh, $2 super chat too. Thank you. All right, before we get in there, let's see what Kung Fu had, because he's being a victim. No, they have made statement. Oh my God, here he goes about what is going on for years. They made it clear that the government should stop the issues by foreigners. Bro, you're a foreigner. What are you talking about? Mid greatness. That's crazy. Y'all are tripping today. All right, let's get a little messy. All right, we'll do it. We'll do it. So, what happened was there's some kind of protest with this group of people against the passport bros, and it was on some kind of news thing, so it has some legitimacy. Now Kung Fu Panda keeps saying they're not saying things. Let's listen to what they have to actually say. And this is on Austin's video that I'm reacting to. It's just easier, and I want to see what he has to say. It sparked up some thoughts from me because we'll see.
Associated with film assault of homeless black women in Brazil. He has recorded and exploited women in Nairobi and plans to travel in October 2025 from South Africa to Cape Town, Johannesburg, Pretoria, and Dunbar for sex tourism. We condemn that one with the stomach.
They knew his whole itinerary.
Now, here goes the crazy part. I don't know who is feeding these people this information, but she literally just read my entire itinerary off, or at least the first half of it, for whenever we go to South Africa here in the next couple of days. And we're going to go to South Africa, to Pretoria, to Botswana, to Namibia. And we've said many times that we don't even want to put women in the videos. She's saying that we've been recording and exploiting women in Nairobi in Brazil. And for months, I've been saying,
what is exploitation these days? You know, what does that even mean? And also, there's a lot of these ladies want to be in the content until then they don't want to be in it no more. And then they change their mind after they see the reaction sometimes. You know, what is exploitation?
Videos about Donald Trump. Like, if you go, a lot of the stuff that people say about me is easily debunkable. Like, it's literally on YouTube. You can just go to my YouTube channel and click and see the past 70 to 90 videos have not even been about women. If they are, is me telling a story.
One thing I would tell Austin, though, is he has changed what he's doing, but you were doing something different before. And you can't ask people to judge you just off of what you're doing now. S-tourism as exploitation. Is it? Because weren't they selling it before you got there? Like, you don't, like, if they're selling something and you go there and buy it, how are you exploiting them? You know? I don't get that.
So let's go ahead and continue. I was delivered this video last night to watch this, and yeah, I watched a little bit of it, and I was like, yeah, I got to bring this to the public. This is horrible.
Also known as Aston Coleman, presents himself as a benefactor, but has been reported for sexual exploitation.
I've never been deported for sexual exploitation. What she's referring to is the incident that happened in January 2023. And another thing that's very debunkable is if you can go on my YouTube and see that I spent 7 weeks in 3 different cities around Brazil. I didn't sneak in. I had the stamp on my passport. And if you get deported, you're not just going back like that in the first place. So let's go ahead and continue.
He fled Brazil in 2023.
I do want to say my observations in Kenya generally, and this is a nuanced point, and it's actually happening in the United States as well. It's actually something I've been very concerned about, is information is, you have to be very skeptical about all the information. Like, and I still don't know what the truth is. I remember those, there were some Somali kids at a football match between a Somali team and a Kenyan team, and they were stepping on the Kenyan flag, and the government came out and said the kids were arrested, and that was getting reported. And then other reporting was showing the kids like posting their Somali passports saying that they never got arrested. And I kept seeing conflicting reports about that. And I see that happen a lot with information in general. And then what I also notice is there's a lot of conspiratorial things, which some probably are true, but some are not. And this is happening in the US. It's not a overt criticism of Kenya, because the breakdown of information, a lot because of social media, but also because media bias, is making people unable to know what is actually happening. And it also makes people resistant to information. And also it makes people willing to accept information that they're inclined to already agree, that already confirms their biases. And so there's like a lot of conspiracy stuff, and there's a lot of bad information out there, and people are willing to believe and say anything. And then the news is also encouraging it. So I think it is dangerous, because if enough people believe that, and especially being like kind of a public figure, even when I go places, people look at me, especially in the real estate world, and I feel like they're looking at me weird. That's because they're recognizing me and they'll come talk to me usually. But if they want to do something bad to you because they think you're doing bad things, you're at a very big disadvantage because they know you and you don't know them. And so negative press, and someone said this before, people be having machetes like, yo, it's dangerous, man. And Kenyans are very online. They see everything. And all you need is one person to believe something. And I'm not saying stuff is true or not, but all you need is like one person to believe something for them to do something to you. And you'll just be minding your own business. And it's really dangerous. Let's see some of the comments. Yo, hit the super chat if you really want me to read it, because it's hard for me to get to everything because we got 100 people in here almost, which is awesome. On a Sunday. I appreciate you guys spending the Sunday with me. Oh, Lisa, Kenyans hate cameras, and Austin's going to talk about it. That's a real thing. Like, you'll like, someone will be like way in the back. One of my videos got taken down, and they were just in the background, not part of the video. Not, like, you could barely, you probably wouldn't identify them unless you knew exactly who they were, because it was like a side profile. Video got taken down for privacy. People do not play with that. Which you do have to respect the culture, though. Like, if they're anti-camera, then they're anti-camera. We're visiting, so you got to work around it. And I think Austin knows that. He talks about it. So let me continue on.
When CNN Brazil, Babramila investigated him. He is linked to the relocation services and plans to build a commune outside Thika with controversial U.S. Black nationalist figure.
So she said that we're trying to build a Black nationalist compound outside of Thika. First of all, I've never even been to Thika. I don't know
I don't think Austin's a Black nationalist at all.
What compound she's talking about, because we don't have a set location. But the next thing is, here's the compound that she's referring to is our business that we started at Moja Village Plaza. You can check it out at mojavillageplaza.com. We just launched it today, this Saturday.
Yeah, I was looking into that. It seems cool. But let me let him go, because I have a point to make about this.
And the point of a Moja Village Plaza is to link the financial interests of the entire African diaspora. And instead of taking it to a place like Accra, Ghana, or South Africa, we want to bring it to Nairobi, Kenya. And now, I'm starting to think, is a lot of that shit being done in vain? Like, can you really help when this is the result? And, some Kenyans might watch this and be like, hey, Austin, don't think that this is all of us. This is the general population. Like, if you look at these people, these are the average Kenyans that are needing support financially. Like, they need, it looks like they're in the middle of a tea field or something like that. So
that's where you
they're
mess
not
up.
the Kenyans that are hanging out with me at the spots that I hang out with. Those Kenyans are pretty much can afford the same things that I can afford, at least in my mind, I believe. I don't know their finances. But these are the people that we create these organizations. The reason that I put up videos where I said, hey, stop buying apartment buildings and start building a CJ's restaurant, or build some business where you can actually make an impact and change people's lives by giving them a job rather than giving a cleaning lady a job where she'll just make 1,000 shillings a day. These are the people that we're looking to impact. And this is the response that they're giving. Instead, the thing is, I've promoted Kenya so heavily and positively for the past year since I got here last August. Actually, the entire time since I got here in 2023. I promoted it so much that my audience bitched and complained, actually, and told me to stop complaining and gaslit me and said that I was lying about that. And this is the response that the locals are giving you, is that we're exploiting rather than looking at the big. See, I don't know, but I'll tell you guys this: ignorance breeds a lot of violence. And the reason
and we see that in the US, and I think that's why we're kind of getting sensitive to that, because again, all you need is someone to believe something, no matter if it's true or not true. So when these things go out, it is dangerous.
But this is dangerous is because the mentality that you're seeing amongst these people, I don't know what document this is she's reading, but the mentality that you're seeing amongst these people in this video is that literally all you had to do is point the finger and say, he did it. And then they just go over there with a chainsaw ready to kill somebody.
So it's dangerous. I agree. But the one thing I wanted to hit on, and again, hit the super chat if you really want me to read a comment, because this chat is going fast. I can't read everything. It's complicated. Say, let's separate the person, because no one's perfect and everybody's got certain things, and you know, we can hold him accountable or whatever to some of the stuff or whatever. But my overarching point is, clearly he's doing certain things with the intention of helping the community and not just the expat community, right? And I feel that way, and I think many Black Americans, when we want to come to the continent in general, and we'll just say Kenya, part of us coming is a deeply emotional, spiritual, cultural desire for connection and contribution to the community. I think of all the people that come, we probably have the higher intentions in general, not everybody, but I think in general, if you took 100 Black Americans that come and 100 everybody else, there is something different there for us coming. And I think we do want to do well. Like we just talked about the leather goods and the different businesses and how we can help people sell more and you know do more business and help local business as well, and development and all that with the farm and providing services and all that kind of stuff, right? And it is deflating. For example, like Khalees, I feel like Khalees means well, and she got a lot of pushback about the land, and I think we do, and maybe we don't do it the right way all the time, and maybe there's like a cultural disconnect, but many of us do want to do good stuff, you know, and not just for ourselves. Obviously, you want to, like, if you do a business, you want to make money, but you want to share the wealth, you want to develop, you want to do those type of things. And it's really deflating when you get pushback, because even me, I get pushback from Kenyans about certain things. That's why it'll be interesting when the Lynn and Googie interview comes out. But at the same time, you can't just like, you know, bow your head and be like, oh, whatever, you know. So I think I felt him on that, because I have felt that same pushback where I feel like I'm trying to do good things for Kenya and Kenyans, and then there's some group of people that are just belligerently saying bad things about you. Now, if we're being fair, and it's weird to talk about Austin, like I don't exactly want to talk about him like that, but I guess we'll talk about it a little bit. Sometimes the way him and the group, his people be talking when they're on live and they're drinking, can easily, it looks bad and it sounds bad, and you're giving people fuel for the things that they're saying, you know, and we'll call it locker room talk, but maybe a little, you know, it's locker room talk. And it's easy for people to put you in a certain category when you're talking like that. And it's one thing to talk about it in private or in a certain way. And I know the internet culture and views and all that stuff encourages people to put everything on the internet, but it makes it easier for these type of things to happen to you, you know? And it's just the world we live in, is that you could be doing good, but if people want to label you as a sexploitator or whatever, it can undermine a lot of other things that you're trying to do. So you got to be careful, you know? And let me check. All right. So that's what I got to say about that part. Let me check the comments. Are there any super chats? Oh my goodness. There's so many comments. I don't know how to go all through. Let me find all the members' comments. Let's see. Let me see. Prince American Ninja Travels. They hate us. Don't feel that way, but I do want to talk about that because I do think there's some special pushback against Black Americans. And we talked about this before, and some Kenyans came on and they were talking to us, and they were like, nah, it's not like that. It'll happen to anybody. I don't know. We're going to talk about it. Sometimes I feel like this stuff happens, gets shot at Black people or Black Americans more. And I think there's a lot of deviant, talk about sexploitation and all that stuff. I know a lot of ladies, okay, in Kenya, and they'll show me what the Europeans be saying and doing, and they tell me their experiences way more exploitative than anything I've seen any Black Americans do, except for Jay Rello, which was bad. That was real bad. Okay, let's see what Mike's got. Well, we'll do freedom. Kenyans used to love Nigerians, their music, culture, and movies until some of them engaged in criminal activities. Same for Black Americans. The passport bros have ruined it. Well, what is, other than the Jay Rello thing, what did anybody else do that was real bad? Austin is very confident of himself, but has a very low understanding of things he possesses. I think the American confidence rubs Kenyans the wrong way. And like the bluntness really does rub Kenyans the wrong way. And then when you add the internet on top of it, which is a bit more taboo, it's easy to get pushback because I get it as well because I come across pretty self-assured, and sometimes people don't like it. Mike, what's wrong with buying a damn apartment, giving a cleaning lady a job? So we're gonna, because he says more about this. What's up, Mark? Like, what's up? Why is he? I feel like he's taking a lot of real estate shots lately. I do agree to see. I can separate. Like, I don't. It's not personal. I agree. A business will employ more people. And real estate can be, it can not really contribute that much. I mean, it does, but not as much as like a business. So I see where he's coming from with that. But again, like thinking everyone's just going to come here and start a business is really asking a lot, you know? C. Griffin, member. They're asking where Lisa's from. Wealth Stack. Rwanda's more peaceful than us. So is Ken. Nerd Novatech. Oh my gosh, what is that comment about? I honestly believe Austin will be back. Oh my gosh, freedom. He's been to South Africa and he didn't like it. He didn't like Ghana either. I don't think you really understand us when you keep saying these things. And, you know, that's fine. Lisa said, I'm scared for Khalees. Land is a big issue. Freedom. I love Ryan, but he loves controversy. Just look at some of his videos. That's why it follows him. My suggestion is he put down the camera and go to South Africa. Yeah, see, Austin goes live, sloppy drunk, and harms his reputation. So for every one step forward, yeah, that's where I would tell him that's where you're messing up, you know? I give him a pass for being a young guy. I don't take him that, like, when he says the apartments are going to fall down, I don't take it that seriously. But, you know, the internet, people just do what they do. People don't like being approached with a Messiah mindset, even if you, yeah, that. So how do you, I agree with this. How do you help without coming across that way? You know what I mean? Because it's easy to look like you're trying to be the Messiah or, you know, be in that way. For Ryan's sake, I ain't asking ChatGPT about Kenyans history and xenophobia. Okay. The Khalees situation is just indicative of a cultural disconnect. Why do they have to document everything via vlog? Black Americans are few. Yeah. Yeah, I get that, right? So there's an aversion to it goes both ways because I think a lot of people feel like Austin has done a lot to promote or help Kenya, like this worldwide standing or whatever. but also it can get negative attention. And I agree with that Kenyans are more laid back and kind of quiet and don't want a lot of attention in a certain way, but then at the same time they do. It's a weird thing to navigate, I think. And I probably get this as well. I don't know what you're supposed like. Okay, but people want to know. Maybe you don't want them to come. Maybe you don't want them to invest. Maybe you don't want them. And then you want content coming out. But it probably does more good than harm, I think. But that's for Kenyans to decide, honestly. Like, we don't want, you promoting Kenya or showing people the different things they can do. I don't know. Austin needs to work on a situational awareness. He needs to know how to pick his battles. He has fed this fake protest too much. And now, but I think it could be alarming if I seen that about me, and you probably want to talk about it. Rello did mess up everything, because I think this is where that stuff is coming from, because he really did bad stuff, to be honest. Real bad. And now, but Austin picked up on it. He made a whole, we don't stand with Rello, we don't like that, we don't support that video, but this is how things go. See, there's stuff like this. Most of the activists are supported by covert foreign NGOs. But why do they care about Austin? Who's doing that? Like, this is the conspiratorial thing, which I'm not saying is not true, but like, I need more than just an assumption. Like, why, how, what, when, where, who's paying who, how much do they pay? As a Kenyan, I'm also concerned about Khalees grabbed land from colonial poets. The lease is coming up and they are offloading to people who do not understand colonial. Yeah, but how do you know that's where she got it from? That's my thing. Like, there's a lot of assumptions there. But, I've learned a lot about the land politics, and I've learned to tread a little bit more carefully. And I do understand the concerns and gripes of Kenyans with the land issue. So I probably have benefited from seeing all that, because at first I'm like, what are they complaining about? But I understand it. Now, I think Khalees is probably getting a lot of flack that is undeserved, because I don't think she was part of that. But if you bought it from them people, if you're buying something that's considered stolen, that could be an issue, right? I would advise African Americans doing investment in Africa to do it strictly as business, and do not try to do good. The political class is expected to work on doing good. That's kind of what I was going to talk about in a little bit. Actually, I'm going to probably, hi Mom. Hi, how are you? Sorry, Ryan, I meant to say Austin love controversy. I was like, do I love, I don't do it that much. Yeah, okay. Ryan, this isn't just about African Americans. I think Kenyans are going through an awakening. We're very open and friendly to foreigners, and Kenyans are starting to see how that's, I get you. It's unfortunate that it's directed towards us. I think I have a resentment that it's getting directed towards us first. I understand that we're putting ourselves out there, but like, of all the people to shoot at, I feel like Black Americans should be the last people y'all shooting at. Because I'm telling you, I know what some of these white guys are trying to do with the ladies. I've seen it. With the land, owning businesses, having monopolies over stuff. Like, I don't think we deserve it. I think most of us are trying to come do good. Obviously, we're doing for like as a business, but I think also we always have in the back of our mind to do good with whatever we're doing. Austin was trying to make Black men in the dark skin monoracial Black African women. Okay. Austin Moneymaker was a passport. Yeah, so he has that audience originally, right? So that's the thing. All right, let's continue, because I have some more points.
It's really no thought process, nothing. Just point the finger. He did it. Now go do this. Literally. So I'm just wondering, the talks that I have about, hey, when you come employ Kenyans, don't exploit them, because I've said this, don't exploit them. Give them a livable salary. The reason that corruption is so rampant in Africa and as well here in Kenya is because the people are getting paid something that they can't even live off of. So I tell people whenever they come here, hey, give them.
As individuals, you can't change that. The only way to change that is more wealth needs to come into the country. If you just overpay people for stuff, it's not gonna be productive, though, to be honest. Like I was thinking about that. My Uber from the airport was freaking $70. And then my Uber in Kenya to the airport, which is like half the distance, was only $10. But it's complicated for you to get the economy to where people are paying people more, but you need more. Everyone needs to hold more money to make things more expensive, if that makes sense. You can't just will it into existence by paying people more.
If you want these people to be motivated and you don't want them trying to cut corners or trying to use corruption to get around you and be at your disadvantage, give them that something that they can live off of. That way they stay loyal to you. But all that goes overhead.
It's actually, I from my experience, if you overpay people, they just think you're a dummy. I don't think they'll be like, oh, they're such a nice person. Unfortunately. I actually think overpaying people will not get you the result that you think you'll get.
And what goes in their head is stuff that hasn't even happened, like a black nationalist. Like I attack Black Americans on YouTube. How the hell am I a black nationalist? And second, you know, the thing is, they don't accuse the British, the Indians, or the Arabs, or anybody else of neocolonialism, right? But who they accuse of neocolonialism is niggas. Now, at what
point? I really do agree with that. And we've talked about it before. We had a whole panel discussion about it. And a lot of Kenyans were like, it's not like that. It's because of the content. It's because of this. I think just like black people in the hood are way more willing to kill other black people in the hood than they are to fight against injustice or the police or whoever, the man that's holding them down. They're scared of them, but they'll kill each other, right? It's the same thing. I think, I know Kenyans are not going to agree. I know you guys aren't going to agree with me. But to be honest, you see people that look like you and you're more willing to have bad things to say. And then, let's be honest, there's this white is right attitude that exists out there. Because again, if you talk to a lot of the ladies, they all want a white guy. They think they're so nice and sweet and all this stuff. And I'm like, yo, these guys are trying to like talk about exploitation. They got a weird fetish for you. They want to use you up and then go back to Russia, Germany, wherever the heck they came from. And then the black Americans are catching all the hell. It's just like, I don't know. I'm kind of convinced that is actually a thing. It's just easier to go after people that look like you. To me, I don't know what it is. I think we have the same phenomena in the U.S., but that's the way I see it as well. I really agree. One hater who happens to own a YouTube channel rounds up fake protesters and gives them a script just for likes. Yeah, but this is some news thing that's covering it. It's not just like, how would you organize all that?
Point in history have black Americans ever had the capability to colonize anybody? I mean, we're the least likely that you need to be making those accusations towards of exploitation and neocolonialism. Mm-hmm. We're black. We don't have those privileges. We don't do shit like that. We're not oppressed like we were 50, 60 years ago, but we're not able to do what the hell you're trying to make it seem like. Again, the black people, the CIA doesn't send native born black Americans to Africa to do these things that we're being accused of. Now they'll take somebody from your country and make them corrupt and use them to utilize what they're trying to do, but they won't be sending me to do that. They ain't gonna trust me because they're not gonna be able to trust me to do it because I wouldn't go for it. But let's continue.
He was admitted on
Real quick, I've heard that CIA thing. They be like, "Are you in the CIA?" They be like, "The CIA sent you." I've heard that before. Lisa, what am I joking about? I'm sorry. That's my perspective. You know. I hear you. Austin is great, but having lived and raised here, I could say Kenyans are unforgiving. We love all the people of African heritage. Passport bros, that's a no-go. Kenyan women have always loved white European men. Yeah, but it's not, but there's a reason. But why? Why? Especially when I'm telling you, they got some weird, perverted, I've seen it. Objectives with the ladies a lot of times. You think they're bringing them back home with them? Nope. They come here to have a playground and then go back to their country. And overpaying causes prices to increase, and locals have an issue with that. Many of us will say something's cheap. We should eliminate that word out of our vocabulary. It took us 500 years, but they're the majority in Kenya and owned. What? It was on Kenya News. Right-wing and evangelical groups in the U.S. have very deep influence through NGOs in Kenya. See, like, I can't get with it. Like, they care about what Austin's doing? I don't think so. It is dangerous. We have ancestral land that is passed on from generation to generation. Yeah, I got you. What if they sell it? Is that okay? Yeah, he's stuck between his past and future. Yeah. Stop lying. Lisa, Kenyan women love some whites. Sorry. Prince American Ninja Travels became a member.
I like this right here.
The damn YouTube ads. I have no interest in becoming a witch. What? I'm being sarcastic. These folks are delusional. I share your views about the flag African Americans are receiving in Kenya. It's common in African countries with an influx of Caucasian and Mongolians. What? Colonialism has disarmed these segments. Call them out, but they love the wine. In essence, Kenyans don't know how to deal with Burkina Faso shut down African American citizenship because CIA is really? Kenyan women love Nigerians before there was Congolese. The Nigerians is a bit polarized because it's like, oh, I would never, or they love them. It's like no way in the middle. No lies told in Kenya. You see more Kenyan women with white men. The reverse is not true. And I think someone made a good point, and this is the thing you got to ask yourself about a lot of these things is if you go to their country, are they going to treat you like how you be treating them? No. It is not a news channel. It's one guy who goes around following the press and places that political events. Oh, okay. Okay. What else we got?
that he made a Kenyan woman bleed so much she almost died. Then claimed he paid off her family.
Now, let me ask you a question.
Yeah, that sounds crazy.
I don't know how, I don't care how corrupt a place
we don't
is.
care about that because
Killed my daughter,
just
so
crazy.
here it's being done. We're tired of hitting, and it's like, is it something that just needs to be worked out amongst themselves first, and then we can come help? Or and you have a good number of Kenyans that when they see me, they love me, they support me, they want to take photos. I hang out with some of these Kenyans, but then you have I'm not going to say it's a majority of Kenyans that's looking at us like this, but it's a large enough number for me to say something about it, that are saying that we're part of the CIA, we're exploiting. And it's like, at what point do we say that, can we actually, is our assistance actually wanted, and can we actually do it?
I feel like that because of the pushback sometimes it does feel like that. So that's kind of what I identify with because I'm telling you, a lot of us in the back of our mind want to be beneficial and productive in the community. And it's like, dang, like with the land, like, can we buy land? Can I buy land? Can I be part? Can I partake or no? And if I can't, you know, that, like it changes how you view things, right? Because I want to do farming and I want to have a ranch and I want to have a good lifestyle, but I want to be able to like add back into the community. And it's like, oh, well, this is ancestral land. You can't come here. Oh, well, damn. Okay. Well, what can I do? You know, can I do like, are we welcome or not? And I'm not saying we're entitled to be welcome. If we're not welcome, then we're not. But I don't know. You know? I think he's grown beyond some of that stuff, but very careful not to act like that. Yep. You will never find well-educated professional Kenyan women, especially who had very good scores in high school or went to elite. That's not true. That's
Stop the cap. Stop the cap.
I'm scared they'll do what they did to our people in West Africa, rob the land. What? Land scamming is real. He should stop reacting to these vindictive Kenyan women. There's an agenda. Find out what it is. Just tell them you're Indian. They worship them.
And some of the issues.
Yeah, but see, I think this is my point. Is like, why if you're black, all of a sudden there's resistance, but if you're a white guy or Indian or some other type of person, then now you're welcome to invest?
That are in.
I'm sorry. The Kenyan ladies love some whites. I'm sorry. I know y'all saying I've seen too much of it. I've seen way too much of it. Even when you look at Kenyan media, they love showing the Kenyan lady that got married and moved to Europe with her white prince. You see it a lot. You do see it a lot.
Some of these societies in other countries, especially in Africa, is it something that just needs to be worked out amongst themselves first and then we can come help? Or do we just scratch the plan altogether?
I think my point of view is don't try to do too much. Like, do you, and on you know, where you can do, you know, things that are helpful for the community, do that, but don't try to do too much and don't think people are gonna thank you for it. You got to do it for you. Whatever you're planning to do, you have to have a good why on why you're doing it. Because I don't think I think part of that disconnect's always going to be there, to be honest. And so you got to do what you want to do, even the good aspects of things, just because that's what you want to do, you know. An unidentified individual organized a group of people to read a nonsensical script for pennies. All these people don't even know what a passport bureau. That channel has only, maybe. That land thing is very sensitive, like you were saying earlier. Also, Black Americans were getting deleted. Yeah, I seen that. African Americans are welcome to Kenya. Are they though? Are they? Like, you're welcome to visit. Are you welcome to participate in the economy? Are you welcome to, you know, again, can I buy land? Is that okay? Like, can I have a business? Can I run business? Can I contribute in that way or no? I'm allowed to come and buy stuff. You know, I don't know. There's a social class of women that dates foreigners and think foreigners are better. I lived in Germany for 5 years, and there's a white version of,
Stop the cap.
Black women were deleted trying to be in these people's countries. Seriously, though, also needs to pick his battles. Broke my heart. We need to keep sharing these streams to educate our people on this. White men are using Kenyan ladies to preserve their lineage, since white people are going, what? Yeah, there's some weird people on there. What you talking about? Worse than crabs in a barrel is hotel. Nah, it's not that bad yet. In that video, there were some dangerous claims. The lady said Austin and Troy. Yeah. Yep. Every country has rules. See, then you say stuff like that. Rules meaning you can't actually buy anything. You can't buy the land because you can borrow it. It's not very welcoming. These protesters to me as Kenyans don't look genuine. Just follow the rules. This, what do you mean? Follow what? What? This, these comments are very annoying. Just follow the rules. Well, then the rule is you can't buy land. What the fuck are you talking about?
I mean, you guys tell me, because I feel like at this point, what the hell have I done as far as Kenya goes? And why the hell do people keep bringing this Brazil shit up? Like, I'm gonna go back to Brazil real soon, and I want CNN to repost it so that way
Because it happened.
saying that I was banned, because I can go back. I've already been back. You don't go to a country and fly in and out of the country for 7 weeks and you're banned. That doesn't happen that way. Come up with some new talking points.
You can't do a lot of stuff in the U.S. You can't. What do you mean? You can buy land as a foreigner. What can't you do? What can't you do in the U.S. that you can do in Kenya without the same thing, right? Because to work, you need a work permit in both countries. What can't you do as a foreigner? So you keep saying vague things. I hate when people just say vague things like just follow the rules. Like, be specific. What are you talking about? It's really annoying. Like, because people want to sound like they know what they're talking about, but like, what can't you do? Like, explain yourself.
But yeah, we're about to shift the focus anyway, because we're about to go to a few other countries. And yeah, I love Kenya. I don't care, who is in this video talking.
I'm curious what he's going to say about South Africa this time.
Nothing that I've said about Kenya I take back, but I do just question the validity of what can we do? What can we?
Here we go, freedom.
Stop the cap.
Bro, I promise you, I know some very, 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 very high-end ladies from high social classes, and they love some whites. I promise. Maybe not all of them, but from my experience, learn the rules in that. Okay, dude. Let's mute this guy because you're just saying stupid things. How do we do that? Guys, I've never even done this before, but that's how annoying your comments are. Yeah. You go on a timeout. Stop talking. I'm also considered white in Kenya at times. That is true. 3 months ain't nothing. Okay. I didn't know it was a competition. Most Kenyans that I can tell like Austin, but it only takes one guy to believe this stuff to make it a problem. That's my point. Oh, hold on. Let me get my Prince American Ninja Travels. They want us to come there, shut up, and get taken advantage of, Ryan. Don't own anything. Don't buy land. Just spend our American dollar and go back home. Sometimes it feels like that, especially like this guy talking about just follow the rules. Just like, if that's what you want, just say that, And I don't get this vibe in person, but online it does come up. And I know that Kenya is a play place, so no one's just going to come up to your face and say stuff like that. So I always wonder, is this an underlying feeling? I do get worried about that, because if I'm somewhere, I want to participate more than just spending money. What is your heartburn, Ryan? You seem to believe that Black Americans are not welcome to do business. I think I'm explaining it right. So I said that's what we're talking about here. There's a lot of pushback, like why are a lot of criticism. Look at it this way, Ryan. Someone has been sitting on gold not knowing, and someone identifies gold and refines it. That's the situation with African Americans and Kenyans now. It kind of does feel like that. Lived in Raqqa, trying reroute subs to Nairobi. Raqqa is a cool spot. I think that's one of the up and coming spots because of the location and the prices right now. That's probably the next place that's going to get expensive. It's a case of the mines being disarmed as a result of colonialization. You can buy land in Kenya once you become a citizen. Wow, thanks. I like Ryan's perspective because he likes the country and is bringing expertise and investment. Kenya is probably the nation that is most hospitable to foreigners from everywhere through the years. It is. I'm just asking the question. I don't know because it feels like that sometimes. It feels. You're definitely welcome to spend money. But are you welcome to fully participate? And I don't know why the dude was bringing up the U.S. because the U.S. is literally the easiest place to invest as a foreigner. Not literally, but it's a very easy place. What's up, Ryan? When are you going back to Kenya? Like the video with the Kenyan lawyers explain. Yes, FKC Legal. I'm going back in January. And I'm trying to do more substantive stuff like that. And we're on the look for land for a ranch. And we're going to do the coast tour. That's the plan.
We do.
Let's see what else Austin's talking about.
Should we be doing anything?
See, I'm telling you, it's not just me. See, that's the thing. Like you're asking why, but it's a vibe that we're getting sometimes. That it's like you're welcome to spend money and do that stuff, but are you welcome to do business and develop and contribute in that way? Africa should be giving us free land due to their involvement. Nah, I'm not with that. But I hear you. I'm not into giving nobody nothing for free.
That one is a very sad story. Faith the Lure, also known as Kid Greatness Bobby.
Bobby's catching shots, Kid Greatness.
Started Jairalo into Kenya and position exploitation as learning about Kenya. He shifted to kick and discord after backlash. Live stream bragging that Jairalo could date any woman and was asked to leave Nairobi restaurant for harassing women. He was in Kisumu in September 2025.
Nobody was ever, and they'll talk about Bobby whenever we go out. And this is why you guys saw a lot of behaviors that I've had is for these very reasons. I stopped doing live streams out in public for that very reason. You could be.
Yeah, doing content is really challenging. But that's not where I'm complaining because that's fine. That's a cultural thing. Like privacy, all that kind of stuff is fine.
I'm not even fucking exaggerating. You could be recording yourself at a restaurant in the corner and doing like this. So it's obvious that the camera must be facing towards you because you're interacting with the camera. Here comes somebody from at the grocery store at the place next door. They jumped out of the dumpster, walked around and said, "Why you had me on video?" It's like you can't even.
That's how crazy it is. It is like that. I don't think they jump out the dumpster, but it is like that. Like it's like you're holding a gun.
You fucking record nowhere. So I just stopped doing it because it's like it's no point. That's why I ended up doing geopolitical videos sitting right here on the couch because can't nobody say nothing about it. Bobby still chose to go out and do live streams and it's too stressful.
Yusuf, what criticism? You're just saying follow the rules. What the fuck does that mean? Like, don't be an idiot and then expect, like, what rule? I've been asking you What specifically are you talking about? And you just keep saying dumb things. The lawyers broke down the rules, do's and don'ts. You know, I was there. So what are you talking about? What have y'all done to these Kenyan women? Wasn't really no Americans there when I was there. I've been seeing more Americans. Very sad situation, but what can you do when you're dealing with, oh, chill. I mean, people who have no sense of history. Okay. He's in America, boy, bye. What? Because you're being dumb. Because I'm asking you to be specific and you're making like asinine comments as if they're profound. Follow the rules. Like, it's annoying. Don't be annoying. I met Austin a few years ago in Village Market. I've seen the growth. I'll reiterate my point in picking battles. If Africans American are going to build together, we need to learn what not to give our collective energy to. I agree. That's why I avoid the FBA thing. But I'm telling you, they roll up enough people is for Austin specifically, he's very recognizable. It could be a problem. Ryan in his home state. Upper Hill is done. How extensive was your research? And what do you think about real estate investment in that area? It doesn't make any sense to me, Upper Hill. I don't understand it. It's so expensive. I don't see why. Like, guys, I've been in real estate, 15 years? I understand supply, demand, like the appeal of different locations. I don't understand it. I literally don't understand it. It's more chill, right? So like, but I wouldn't pay what that stuff is costing. So I don't know. Dude, this guy, bro, I keep asking you, what specifically are you talking about? And you keep saying things that we all know. Like, what are you talking about, dude? What is the point that you're trying to make? That's what I want to know. I'm funny. You know what? I just like base dumbness is really annoying. Like making a simple comment like just do what they say. Like, why even bother saying that? For balance, with a Kenyan perspective, Austin and his group did build a business to bring sex tourists here with the promise of easy women. Yeah, a little bit, to be honest. Because I seen some of them guys are kind of weird in their group. I'm like, yo, they're kind of, I feel like that's why I don't hang out. I think Austin's cool, but some of them guys, but again, the sex tourism thing, I don't know, man, because like they were for sale before you came, you know? So I like it don't just go one way. I think I understand the Nairobi issue with recording though. Yeah. So again, I get the recording stuff, but it goes beyond that. Because it does go past common sense because you'll just be like Austin was saying, literally you could be sitting in the corner and somebody be like, what are you doing recording? But no, I don't. Yeah, the filming, I get why people are concerned about it for sure because Westgate was pretty horrible. This is all part of the growing pains. Wait, yes, this is all part of the growing pains. Hard for most to see, but we're slowly learning to build. Yeah, I agree with that too. And guys, like I don't know. I'm a little more spicy today, but I hope to look at it that way too, because like collaborating cultures together and integrating is really complicated. They sell box in Nairobi. Yeah, so if you're selling box and then someone comes to buy it, is that exploitation? It's all over the internet. But they did promote it to some degree, and I'm not saying it was like devious, but there was some. This comment section is a dumpster fire. Lisa is kind of almost the American version of Discount Hub. All sex tourists are weird predator travel with money to exploit. It's illegal. I mean, they are a little weird, yeah, but again, if they're selling it, whatever. You're right. It's a messy process, and we're learning where people's values lie. It's inevitable. You're right. 304 lifestyle is a very old profession. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, let's not take it overboard. Like, because those are hot words, sex tourism. But would you go do sex tourism in like Saudi Arabia or somewhere where it's like you don't think there's a market for it? Probably not. You know, the videos going viral on Black Twitter. You wouldn't say stealing is cool because it already happens anyway. Well, stealing is taking something from someone unfairly. If a lady is willingly selling box, I think that's different. Now, if you're saying she's getting exploited by, like, there was a BBC thing in Dubai where, you know, they're like controlling the ladies and stuff like that, I agree with you. But there's a lot of freelance women out there just selling what they got. You know, I don't think it may be frowned upon, but I don't think it's you know, I think is that like exploit? I don't think that's exploitation. They would have sold without promoting. Is that what you mean? Well, the ladies were selling the box before the guys came, is what I mean. For the record, Kenya had nothing to do with chattels. Kenya gives. Oh my God, what are y'all talking about? It is kind of wild to fly across the world to buy some women, though. That's kind of crazy. Guys tonight are spicy and hilarious. I'm hooked to this channel because of your real estate. I hope that that guy doesn't think of coming after you. No. The potential upside of that video is it scared some more Vrelo style weirdos who have been looking at Kenya recently. I mean, there are like the Vrelo thing was real bad because he came with bad intent, which, you know, I didn't know he was like that. And honestly, that passport bro community is weird AF. They some weird dudes. They got bad intent. I don't like them. I didn't know it was like that. Like, I thought they were like looking. I mean, you might, you know, casually be out there for women, but maybe also looking for a wife or whatever. I think that's kind of okay, but that's not what they were. Just out there, just actual. A lot of passport bros are like just actually sex tourists. I'm just saying that if you're sex tourism, if you're going somewhere and they were already like if you go to Colombia, they were for sale before you came. So it's not like you're making it more like that's just what they're doing. Oh, but it's true, Ryan. I would agree with Martino on this. I consider myself a well-educated professional Kenyan woman. I am around other Kenyan women like that. You want to find us with whites. That may be true of you and your group, but I'm telling you, lawyers, high social class Kenyan ladies, they sit up straight when they see a guy from Britain come. I see it a lot. See Griffin. But Kenyan society doesn't frown. Yeah, but it does in the open, but there's a lot of it. Like I'm telling, I could be sitting in a bar, some lady come up to you and try to sell you some box. I'm not even looking for it. So it can't be that. I mean, it could be frowned upon, but they do it. You know. PC, unless I want to catch malaria. What? I don't understand. Foreigners own and run businesses in Kenya. How that? And I think this is what we're talking about: is that there seems to be pushback against the blacks, the Black Americans. And I know you're citing traverse culture. I don't know if she gets pushed back. I'd be curious to see what she has to say about the topic. You can still state own a leasehold land for 7 years and convert it to freehold. That is what many Asians, whites are doing. I think most African Americans lack patience. Does FKC work with Kenyan clients? Yeah, I'm sure they do. If freehold land was free, all Kenyans would not own land, considering colonial history. What? I don't know why Lisa's. I don't get into FBA stuff. There was a Caucasian guy from Spain calling himself Naughty Nomad with friends. They sex toured in Mogadishu and filmed it. It was undercover for them, but he did it for YouTube. It was taken down. Okay. I mean, like that's just people do that. I guess it's not good. A lot of passport bros are men who have given up on life and decided just to work to get money to fly somewhere else to buy sex until they are dude, I wouldn't have believed you, but that's actually what they're doing. That's crazy. Box is sold everywhere. They're not high, so if they grew up at Eastlands. What? See, like, did I say that? Box selling right now. Oh my God, Lisa. I don't know why Lisa's doing that. She's doing the FBA stuff. That yeah, Lisa, I love you, but you're doing too much. I think this is more in the passport bros because we have people who are doing well there. Hey, have them massage signs all over Nairobi and the pics are crazy. I know, like let's not like there's literally signs all over the place about this stuff, and then you're saying it's frowned upon, you know? Like we didn't make that. Soon as you said passport bros are weird, I subscribed. And yes, I didn't know that. I didn't know. Honestly, when it first came out, I understand wanting to leave the US and meet women, to be honest. Like I definitely, you know, prefer women overseas, but I realize that the passport bros, Tammy, what's going on? We're having a crazy conversation. What's going on? But the passport bros is a whole. I didn't know it was this. Like I only learned that till the Jay Rello thing came out because I didn't know it was like that. To be honest, I didn't know. And then I started watching the YouTube passport bro community, and it's really disgusting. And it's corny. It's real corny. And I'm not here. I don't like to, you know, try to put yourself up by knocking people down, but that John is yuck. I kind of thought they had some genuine intent, because that's me, right? Like I'll probably get married in Kenya, you know what I mean? And so and if you're in members, I talk about a little bit of the struggle and some of the challenges that I've been having, but it's coming from a good place, you know what I mean? It's not coming from this weird thing. I don't know. Right? You mean these people just fly to space? Yeah, they really do. Like, I mean, that was the Jay Rello. He came here to just buy and exploit prostitutes, basically, is what he did. And then he was doing horrible stuff. But like, cause I did talk to him, and I was like, dude, what? Like, you don't have to do this. Like just talk to the ladies nicely. but there's something wrong with him. So that's when and then I started watching the videos from the rest of the community and seeing comments, and I was like, oh, this is not what I thought it was. Like, this is bad. I don't know what y'all going back and forth with Lisa. Lisa's doing the most. Lisa, I'm trying to like keep you, you know, I get where you're coming from a little bit, but you got to chill a little bit too. Like, that's why that FBA cult is not good. I get like, because I always tell people, Black Americans, we're American, whether you like America, don't like America, whatever. Culturally, we're Americans, and this goes to what Wealthstack was saying. It's growing pains because we're in a different place, and we're trying to find our place and navigate. But you do need to know that whether you like it or not, you're American and you got American culture. And I understand them trying to put a name to it, FBA or whatever, and it goes back to them wanting reparations and all that. But it's because, just like the passport bro thing, the FBA stuff is becoming toxic. Because why do you got to be like so negative towards the people on the continent? You know, I honestly, like, I'm not even big on identity like that. Like, putting your nationality and race and all that stuff ahead of character and all that is just, I think it's a mental disorder, to be honest. Now, at the same time, you do need to understand that your race and culture does matter, and that's why we're talking about all these things. But it's a little over empathized or emphasized. Nah, Austin's not a passport bro anymore. No, I'm telling you, the passport bros is this other thing. Like, they're weird. I don't think Austin's weird like that. I think, and it changed, right? Like, that the word and what it meant changed. Because at first I was like, oh, passport bros, yeah, we leaving, you know. But then I realized who these guys really are. Yuck. I think he realized the same thing. Yeah, I get that, but Kia Traverse has a decade in, so that's different from those getting started and finding their footing. But I agree, at the end of the day, you just press forward. Interesting. Yeah, she's been in a long time, so I wonder what her experience is. And as a side note, I said this before, but I know there's a lot of skepticism towards these middlemen services, but I think Trevor's culture is doing some good stuff. You know, I never met her. I don't know exactly how their business works, but I'm telling you, after doing all this adulting type activities here, having someone that knows what's going on to help you could be very valuable. Yeah, that's what I would tell Austin too, is that a lot of his audience when he got big was from that part of the community. The best community is the passport bros. They show. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Well, let's see what else he says in the video.
I'm not doing it anymore. But no, there's no, again, the reason that we don't put women in the videos, well, he may still be to a certain extent, not directly.
Maybe Kung Fu Panda's just smarter than all of us because he knows all the, like, what everything means. But to me, I think the passport bro label evolved. I don't think it was sex tourism in the beginning.
Maybe he is somewhat, but I don't even want to talk about women. And this is why you don't make you. So one of the mistakes, I'm not even going to call it a mistake. One of the things I used to do when I first came up as a YouTuber was realizing that, oh, my videos get more views when people see my dating life, or if I interview women and stuff like that.
That's
You know,
what the
I
internet will
include
do
women
to
in
you.
my content until I realized that shit comes with a lot of problems.
Dude, I remember watching and was like, this is not going to work out when he had the ladies in the video, because just knowing how ladies are just anywhere in the whole world, you pop up with different ladies in different videos, it's going to be a problem for you. Like, I could have told you that. Like, this is not going to work out well. You know, I always was like, dang, I was like, dang, he either he really knows how to finesse it and like keep everything cool, or it was just a time bomb waiting to happen, and it ended up being a time bomb. Because I was like, dang, how does he have all the? I would never put all these ladies in a video. I have a video with a lady coming out. That's big for me. I don't talk about it too much, but in members only, one of the videos has a lady in it. So I'm not going to explain it though. It's just, it is what it is, you know. As things evolve, maybe I'll share a little bit, but I don't share that stuff too much. How do you compare Upper Hill and Westlands with a lot of international players coming to Nairobi? Which area would be ideal for investment? Westlands, I recommend over every other area, 1000%. Upper Hill has this reputation for being like the business headquarters, but it doesn't have like supermarkets and stuff like that. Like, it doesn't have a lot there other than some of the commercial stuff. To me, it doesn't make sense, and I'm not even that qualified to explain it because it doesn't make sense to me. I don't get it. Westlands is where it's at. If you're purely looking for investment, I always equate the cool thing about investing in Nairobi to me is that you can see the future, because I comp or compare Nairobi to New York City. I think it's the hub of East Africa. It's the portal to everything coming into at least the eastern part of the continent, and maybe the whole continent in the future. Although Ethiopia is doing well, but Ethiopia is more closed than Nairobi is. And so if you look at New York City, just like, Westlands is Manhattan, right? So that's one of the most expensive real estates in the whole country in the US, for sure. I was going to say the world, but it might not be anymore. So that's where if you're just looking to invest, that's where you should invest. That's where everything is. There's a mix of commercial and residential and recreational. And there's a lot of things to do. A lot of clubs, bars, restaurants, there's basically everything there. That's where a lot of money is. Now, the suburbs, Muthaiga, Runda, all those places also have money. But Westlands is like the hub. And so that's the biggest investment area possible to me. Kenyans do not protest like that press conference. These are paid actors. Okay. Upper Hill is not a neighborhood. Actually, it's a commercial area. Most black men who are traveling are either expats or military, and they're still the majority. Yeah. Most of us are retired or expats, or I'm military. So yeah, I hear you. I don't know the passport bro stuff. Don't degrade Kenyan women. I agree. 1000% agree. I'm glad I was able to answer a real estate question. Does that make sense though? Let me know.
And I can guarantee you, if I was only talking about real estate or bringing business to these countries, maybe I wouldn't be as big, or maybe it would have been a slower growth.
Damn.
Maybe instead of me having 151,000 subscribers, I maybe have 10 right now, because you're pretty much irrelevant if that's what you're talking about. Like, people don't really tune into that.
What? Did I catch a stray? Guys, did I catch a stray? What's his problem with real estate? I really want to know. And also,
Goddamn.
Dang.
Bloody.
Oh. What what was that about? And there's other people that do real estate, so maybe it's not me. But why does he resent real estate so much? Is it because you can't afford it?
Oh God. Oh God.
Whoa there. Whoa there.
Why? What is that about? Real estate is the safest way, I think, to invest in Kenya right now, because starting a business is very complex. Do y'all think it was? But do y'all really? Is he talking to me? Like, what is that about? See, Wolfstack said, Austin, stay clapping at you. Indirect. Shots fired. What's up with that, yeah? I don't take it personal. Like, you don't have to like real estate, but damn, he'd only have 10. I mean, I only have 9K subs, but as a YouTube thing, numbers are deceiving because, and I'm not really a YouTuber. Like, this isn't my job. It's kind of like a side fun thing. But also, my RPM, or like the amount that you can get paid per view, is probably higher because of the nature of the content. So you might get less views, but you can make more money. Although it's not that much of a relevant amount for me. But damn. Also, and see, because Austin complains about people not using his services, but part of that is because if you're reckless with how you speak, people aren't going to trust to do business with you, you know? Hey, Martin, member, what do you think about Amethyst? The location's cool. The developer is really good. I was very disappointed that the top floors were not available, but actually I found a piece of insight about that. But also the pricing was quite high. And for Kilimani, because I wanted to be the first one to look at that project and what their presentation was. But once the information came out, I was like, I know they'll deliver a really good product, but the numbers are a little brutal, man. I think they might have trouble selling, actually. I might wait on it and maybe, I don't know. I don't think they'll drop the price, but it might sell slow. Maybe you could negotiate a deal there. So about the top 4 floors, because there's new zoning, there was a court case about the zoning in Nairobi, and now they're forced to update their zoning laws in the next 6 months. And there was a Raptor Road. The people there brought a case against some of the developers that stopped their work. And part of that case resolution was that they have to come up with new zoning, which, funny enough, was something that I kept falling back to on the Lynn and Googie interview when it comes out, because the zoning is so important. So I think the reason why the top 4 floors were blocked off is that they're not approved. So they don't want to sell them until it gets approved, because they may have to reduce their height. Some of the other developers had to reduce their building heights. So I think that's what's going on there. Amethyst, I just think, again, if you're looking to live there and you like that area, I think it's cool to buy. But on an investment side, the numbers are rough. But if you like the developer and believe in it, and want to live there, I think that's cool. But if I was investing, I'd buy the Diplomat before I bought there, because the Diplomat has reasonable pricing. Marble West, even, although I don't love Marble West location. Mont Bleu, which is by the same developer, is a little bit better location, I think. So that's a good question. I was super excited about it. I totally trust that developer to deliver good actually high quality finishes and everything, and to finish on time probably, but the numbers just weren't making it. Because he thinks there's too many houses for people to buy. He's always never like that. Yeah, what? Did I catch some shots? Let me play it back.
I'm not doing it anymore. But no, there's no again. The reason that we don't put women in the videos, where he may still be to a certain extent, not directly. Maybe he is somewhat, but I don't even want to talk about women. And this is why you don't make you. So one of the mistakes, I'm not even going to call it a mistake. One of the things I used to do when I first came up as a YouTuber was realizing that, oh, my videos get more views when people see my dating life, or if I interview women and stuff like that. You know, I include women in my content. Until I realized that shit comes with a lot of problems. And I can guarantee you, if I was only talking about real estate or bringing business to these countries, maybe I wouldn't be as big, or maybe it would have been a slower growth. Maybe instead of me having 151,000 subscribers, I maybe have 10 right now, because you're pretty much irrelevant if that's what you're talking about. Like, people don't really tune into that. But the thing is, a lot of those issues that I've had have.
Whoa there.
It's that. Damn. Yo, that's crazy. What do you guys think about? Like, is that directed at me? What did I do? Golly. But you know what? That's a funny thing. It's a tough position to be in if you're a YouTuber, because you have to do things that you keep getting paid so that you keep getting views. And so I guess real estate and business is niche, so the numbers are lower. But I wouldn't want to be forced to, you know, this is why you have trouble with having the ladies in the videos and all this drama and all this stuff, because you gotta push the limits and try to get the most out of it. I wouldn't want to be in that position, you know. But damn, you know, I'm surprised Ryan even. I still like. You cannot discount. He's done a lot for Kenya and for us, being aware of the place. I know his original content really helped me when I came. I always say this. When I first got to Kenya, I felt like I knew where I was going. I knew what I was looking for. I knew what I was doing because I watched the earlier stuff. And I think he means well. I think, you know, he kind of talks like my little brother. You know, and he talks like me, probably 10, 15 years ago, just blunt and a little inarticulate, but like gets the reactions out of people. So I understand it. So, you know, it's interesting. I saw how your friends belittling on air, and I knew it would be a problem. What? There are a few cool peeps like Ryan here. Oh, thanks. But in general, we need to up our game at guarding our country. Real estate, one of the most lucrative investments in Kenya right now, hands down. 10 years from now, people will be regretting not investing. You know what's funny about that is that I remember people used to argue about prices 5 and 10 years, or before COVID, 10 years ago, whatever. And now they're really mad, because if you had bought 10 years ago, you're way up in the United States, you know? See, here goes this guy. He's just trolling it. It's not complex starting a business. Okay. Stupid. Business anywhere is complex, bro. And now, can you even do business legally? Do you have a work permit? Do you have your legal entity set up? How do you receive money? How do you open a bank account? How do you get a KRA pin? Do you need to do immigration stuff? How do you hire people legally? How do you pay taxes? How do you, What the like? This guy's a freaking idiot. I'm sorry. I hate these contrarians that just say one sentence that's just dumb as hell. Problem is, Black American man traveling equals passport bro to many people and many Africans. I don't know. Right on YouTube, it is deceiving when it comes to views and payouts. Yeah, you don't got to do the most, and that's why I haven't made a lot of content that's like about me. I do the lives like that because we can have fun or whatever, but I don't know. I like my privacy a little bit, and I don't know. I don't want to weigh into every topic. And I think staying in your lane is healthy. Yusuf, do you really understand how hard it is to start a business? No, he doesn't. He doesn't. He's an idiot. As a diaspora Ethiopia born in Europe, he spends a lot of time in Kenya and has investments there and in Ethiopia. The thing Austin doesn't understand is that he will be deported soon. Why? I hope that doesn't happen. I think Austin does a lot of good things in Kenya. For all, he's a young guy. He's going to say dumb stuff. He's on YouTube. He has to make a living from YouTube. He's going to say stuff, but it definitely does more good than harm. And you can see he's trying to do good stuff. Like some of the collabs, he started that business, which I don't know, the Emoja Business Center or whatever he's trying to do. I think it's good. I think he could use some like OGs or some like more business minded people that can help him. But I could tell when someone's intent is in a good place, and I think he has good intent. Oh, thanks about the information about the top floors. Yeah, the top 4 floors are blocked off, but I think maybe they're not approved. That could be a rumor. I don't know. That was my interpretation of that information. Do your own due diligence. He sits day in and day out complaining on YouTube Live. Yeah, when he's drinking and doing the live, that's not good. I did a reservation on the 14th floor, 2 beds, already got 1 apartment in Westlands, and thought, yeah. So I'm not saying it's a bad investment. I just think it's a bit expensive. But diversity is good, having different buildings, having different areas. Although I'm pretty convinced Westlands, like if you're just going for investment, just buying Westlands, to be honest. I really think that. I think it's Manhattan. I think it's Manhattan 20, 30, 40 years ago, right? If you could buy property in Manhattan in New York 20, 30, 40 years ago, you would be very happy versus if you bought in Staten Island Brooklyn's still doing, like, that's the thing. Kilimani might be Brooklyn. It does good, but a little bit later. And I don't know if you know New York City, but there's just, I'm just using that as an example. But that's the cool thing that I look at Nairobi as New York City. So I try to use that same lens when I'm looking at it. Obviously it's different, but you can almost predict the future a little bit, or at least have insights. It's like you could go in the future and then come back when you go to Kenya and be able to make good decisions. He has surface level understanding on most things, but he can't just randomly totally swear on something or dismiss. Yeah. All right. I think you'll find yourself an amazing Kenyan wife. Yeah, I might have done it all. I don't know. I'm working on it, The thing in temptation there is really challenging. Kai was right. How many Kenyans do you see fighting outside the club now? Imagine if they were allowed to have guns. You got, I'm pro Second Amendment, bro. Just because you have guns don't mean you're using them. Trust my words, 12 months time. Well, I hope that's not true. I agree the ChatGPT convos are kind of flat, but what most of us don't realize is he's trying to find it. Yeah, exactly. I think it's hard to pivot your YouTube content for sure. It's really challenging just from a business aspect. And that's the thing. He's showing a willingness, like he wants to do business stuff. I think that's why maybe he's taking some shots, because maybe there's some resentment there. Because whatever business eventually gets executed, it's going to be on point. That's the other thing. That's the other thing with him. Like, he has like a lot of older guys that look up to him, which is kind of weird. You know what I mean? And if you have all these people looking up to you, especially when they're older than you, it's easy to get influenced in different directions because maybe you try to listen to them, you know? So I don't know. And when people are like fans of you, you want to be nice to them, even if they're weird. So, you know, real estate videos were big between 2019 and 2022 in Kenya. It has dropped drastically in popularity. Yeah, I feel like my numbers are down for what I've been doing as well. So that's interesting. But I feel like people maybe are tired of it. But I'm gonna keep. But what I'm not really doing it for the numbers. Like I want to. My thing is about exposing people to opportunities, and obviously, since I've covered so much, I have a good library of a lot of the different projects that you guys can look at and kind of, if you land, you'll kind of know where you want to go already. And so I get a lot of benefit of just like helping people in that sense. Ryan, have you seen the speech by Ndindi Euro on real estate investment? Maybe that's where Austin got. I don't know. I don't recognize the name. I know there's a couple of these guys that I've seen clips from, but I can't reference that. This guy. Listen, I have done it. What have you done? Okay. Oh, you're a rookie. All right, bro. You're annoying. Because you don't like, you can criticize, but you don't say anything of value, right? Like who, what, when, where, why. What do? You haven't done that. So for that reason, let's give him a 24 hours. Get out of here. And again, I don't like, you guys could, like, Austin hates real estate. That's cool. You know, I would talk to him. I don't have a problem with it. But if you're just going to keep saying dumb things like, I've done it, what did you do? He's been just saying just dumbass shit. So he's got to go. Do you think an investor visa with real estate is a good way to citizenship? No. Don't do the investor. Talk to the law firm, FKC. But what they told me, and this makes, do any of the residency programs, like the digital nomad or the retiree one, if you qualify, are cheaper, and they allow you to do the same things. The investor residency visa doesn't give you anything extra because it's called that. So don't do that one. It doesn't. There's no reason, unless that's the only option. Oh my gosh. What's up, JB? I think he finds his footing. He'll be fine. Yeah, I'm rooting for. I think I hope he does good, and I think he will. And I want to see the South Africa trip. I can't wait to see what he has to say about it. Also, it's funny to me, like when he's being dramatic about South Africa. I agree with his takes in general. I think he adds all the extra spice. I just ignore that part. You know, I take the information that I take from it. I get that, but he has a long way to go. Perhaps the Nairobi entertainment space will be a good fit for him. I think if Austin and KG find business opportunities and let content be secondary, there'll be less pressure. Yeah. Imagine your ability to stay in the country and still live this lifestyle is based off of how many views you get. That is tough because the views change. People like things, they don't like things. If you piss off your audience, he has a legacy audience that's different than what he's trying to do now. That's a lot of pressure, man. You said that last time. You need a PIN number to actually have a resident permit and then have the property on the name, but you didn't know after the end of the purchase. Yes. Again, this is why I was recommending FKC Legal, Franklin and Abdi. I would talk to them because they can get all these things done in a streamlined way for a reasonable pricing. I found a guy that will get the RD Sasa number for people that don't have an alien ID. I felt like it was expensive. But it can be done. Yes, I have the solution to that problem. But I would work with the law firm to be honest. They're probably cheaper than doing it yourself and way less headaches. But yes, I have a solution to that issue. Well, stack 100. Ryan, I thought you were married. No, I've been holding out for these 37 years to become what I am today and have the choices and options. And now I don't know what to do. But I might make a move soon. I don't know if I'm gonna tell you guys about it though, to be honest. I think that too, being the marketing arm of a restaurant or club would work, but that level of daily interaction with women and alcohol may require more discipline. I started my first travel firm way back and worked for one of the best land surveyors in Kenya. So convincing laws, etc. So please, I won't. Okay, we'll get out of here then. Oh, look, Traverse Culture's here. Hold on. Wait, let me do Martin. I love your real estate views. It helps a lot to have comparisons. Exactly. That's all I've tried to do is put the information out there and let you guys figure out what you want to do. Although some people are crashing out when they're trying to figure it out. That's why I'm trying to find services to recommend you guys to, which Traverse Culture's here. And I kind of want to talk to them because I think their service is very much needed for many people. You can, but it takes 7 years either way. Oh, she's talking about the residency. I think it's 3 years if you get married, right? I think. Did she say anything else? We also assist with that as well. People need to be educated. Absolutely. The KRA pin is easy to get and it shouldn't be expensive. Exactly. What about Traverse? Is this Kia or is it one of your people? But what about have you guys dealt with purchases and the Sasa registration without having a alien ID? Have you guys ran into that issue? Oh, this is cool. Hold on, let me get to some more member comments while we're at it. Mark West, what's going on, man? So I've been around with Mark West quite a bit. Checking in a little late. Actually, I forgot to hit up Kai because he probably would have came on for a little bit. I went ahead and bought that Killer Leishwa off-plan property. Thanks for your help. Hey, that's what's up. Yeah, Mark West, we drove around. We did a bunch of stuff. I still need to work for at least 10 more years outside of Kenya before I can fully move. I think that's a big problem for people is the income. I think it would be great to start the progress now and feel like it's my only option. Yeah, I think from my first trip, that like the feeling is a little bit different. Like you want to get rid of that euphoria feeling before you decide to move, right? Like you need to deal with some annoying things in Kenya before you're just like, okay, I'm going to do it. In my opinion. Right. How you going to call me Brian? Do you really think people will pay $1,150 for a furnished one-bedroom apartment in Westlands? Because all these realtors are talking about lot, and I'm not sure if it's hype or facts. Yeah, I do think they'll pay that, to be honest. And I agree with you to be skeptical, but I do see people paying that. I do. I mean, 1150. Let me see what that is in shillings, if that's actually in line. But oops, 150K. I'd say more like in Westlands, though. I think 125 is safer. Maybe $1,000 a month. Definitely 1,000. But guys, be careful about what you hear. Like what this is a good thing to talk about in videos when they're look. I'm polite when the salespeople are telling me things. You know, they're salespeople, right? So don't like take what they're saying as gospel. I hope that's understood in the content, right? I'm not going to challenge everyone on everything that they say, especially rental numbers. I don't talk rental numbers very much because the only real data that I have is mine in Lavington, and that rents for $65,000 unfurnished, 1 bedroom. And after I sorted out the agent's property management and I started doing it myself, it's been rented ever since, no problem. 65,000. That's what I'm getting in Lavington for a 1 bedroom at a mid-level apartment. That I would say that's the one I first purchased. After a year, I'm going to do a video rundown of that. Oh, hold on. Let me see what Key is saying. Okay, Pen. Yes, you're right, but not guaranteed. Oh, the 3 years when you get married is not guaranteed.
Oh God.
Oh, thank you. The $2 super chat. Yes, it's me. We assist with the purchase of land. Oh. Let's do a live when you're ready. 150K is low for Westlands. For furnished? I think furnished, that probably makes sense. But you might know the rental numbers. I don't like claiming the rental numbers because I hear a lot of different things. Yeah, let's do a live. What's the best way to contact you? Because I'm not in country now, but after crashing out and buying furniture and doing a whole bunch of headaches, I was like, I don't think a normal person that, because for me, it's kind of fun and I get to share the experience and I can, tell people what it's like and be knowledgeable. But if someone's not trying to do all that, they probably need you guys or some kind of liaison to help them for sure. And I see that Traverse gives you like an assistant the whole trip. Is that true? Don't let me make rumors, but that seems really cool. Fred Gibbs, I forgive you for calling me Brian, even though my name's written on the screen somewhere. That's okay. My whole life I've been tortured by that.
Emotional damage.
I'm pretty committed to Kenya now. I'll start furnishing my first apartment in December and January. Let's see how that adventure. Are you renting unfurnished and you're going to furnish it yourself? What's the size of your 1 bedroom in Lavington? You know what's really bad is I don't know the square meters. I'm sorry. That's really bad of me. I'm going to say in the 60s, 68 maybe. I don't know. Yeah, Kia, let me know what's the best way to contact you. Maybe we'll set something up. Because I'm probably going to get off soon, so I don't want to get into like a deep conversation because I'm sure we could talk for quite some time about all these things. Martin, have you been to Kenya before though? Because I'm like the wet blanket because I want people to like don't jump out the window. Don't sell your house. Don't sell everything. Take your time, visit, do some non-touristy things, stay in the house for a couple days, see what that feels like. Because to be honest, like for example, my house here in the US and actually the office like is better than I have a pool, I have parties and I have an apartment in Kenya. So it's hard, like the lifestyle change can be challenging for people. I'll try Airbnb of a 1 bedroom I bought. Oh, have some context there. Airbnb. I've been staying away from doing it because the time, like to get everything done, is a bit more involved. Kia, yes, this is true. 2 concierge specialists for the first 30 days in country through our integration program. It's actually a 120-day relocation service that we break down in 2 phases. That's cool, because do you guys know how many people I've had to ask for things just for simple things, you know? So again, having that, if you're not trying to deal with headaches, dealing with someone that already has the infrastructure set up is very good. Yes, I went to Kenya 3 times last year. Okay, good.
I like this right here.
Our apartment in Lavington cheaper than Westlands? Yes, Westlands has a premium. I'm going to make up a percentage of that. I don't know if it's statistically true, but 20-30% premium versus Kilimani, Lavington, Kileleshwa. Is the finishing luxury in Lavington? I've been to Lavington, and some parts are very beautiful. Lavington is very beautiful. To me, Lavington's got like the old money because there's still townhouses and stuff there, and they're very expensive when you see them for sale. That my apartment that I have is kind of mid, to be honest. Lavington's also a controlled area, so not a lot of apartment buildings get approved or allowed there. So it's a little bit harder to find stuff, which makes it a good place to stay, to be honest. Too many Airbnbs in Nairobi, you'll have to drop your price every time. I don't think that's true, but again, it's quite, yeah. Wait, Kia, how do you want me to contact you? That's what I want to know. I know it's late over there. Should I send you a DM on Instagram? Like, how can I contact you so we can coordinate some things? And I'd love to know more about like how the business works and everything, because I'm all about people going to the right place, because goodness gracious, so many people have tried to do it themselves and then message me and have paid a lot for KRA pins and all kinds of stuff. Ryan, 37 is a good age to make a move. I feel like I've been doing good. I've held out, no kids, got my money up, got my maturity up, communication skills, ready to make a move, you know? So, but you know, it's hard when you go to the mall and Kenyan ladies will come up to you, yo, and they know what to say to you. Oh God, I can run, but not that fast. Don't steal me away. Oh no, don't get me. I don't know if Kia heard my question about how to contact her, so I'll send her a DM or something. Next week, I'm having FKC Legal to answer all your legal questions and basically get to talk to lawyers for free. So bring your questions. It'll be a very productive conversation. Wolfstack.
City boy, city boy.
It's like, you know, as a man, it's hard because you work your whole life, especially if you didn't have no kids or mess up anywhere. And then you get to this point where you're at the peak of your powers and they want you to give it up. What? You know, why would I do that? So where's good to buy a 1-bedroom with high quality finishing? The finishing really is based off of the developer and what they're going for. Best returns, Westlands, 1000%. Best appreciation, so capital gains. So the value of your property is probably going to go up the fastest in Westlands. Rents will probably go up the fastest in Westlands. I think you're insulated from the overbuilding in Westlands, especially now because they're updating the zoning that might be more restrictive. So maybe you see less new developments. I would be slightly concerned about the overbuilding, but I'm not overly concerned about the overbuilding. Otherwise, guys, I wouldn't be buying if I didn't believe in it. That's the other thing. Like I'm buying 2 units at the Diplomat. If I had some more funds, I'd probably buy more, but now I'm looking for my land and the ranch. But if I was an investor, I would just keep buying in Westlands, to be honest. So that's my recommendation. Look, they don't pay me. I'm trying to figure out a way for them to be able to pay me. But the Diplomat, to me, is the best investment. That's across from Westgate. You know, and I think that for straight ROI, I think the small studio apartment that's 42 square meters kills it, because you can get it at 5.2 million starting. And if you put more money down, if you paid 100% up front, you can get that thing down to 4.5 million. And I think for what the rental return is on that, it'll be really good. If you want a bigger unit, yeah, I always say Kilimani, and I mean like Kilimani, Kilauea, Lavington. I kind of lump them in unless you want to really differentiate. I like Kilauea better than Kilimani, though, for sure. Kilimani is a little hectic right now on the roads and all that. But Lavington's nice, but there's just less things available, you know. Kia, how should I contact you? That's what I want to know. Older than you, Ryan, still holding out, no kids, life is good, simple. Why would you trade that out and make it make sense? Kids, I want to have kids, so, you know, and having a bunch of baby mamas, I don't think it's good for kids necessarily, you know. So that's my thing about that. But, you know, sometimes you think about the dark side and you'd be like, well, maybe have a couple Johns. I don't know, man. I don't know. Diplomat is expensive at 88 square meters. It's a little expensive, but go to the small 1 bedroom, which again, I think most of the 1 bedrooms will rent around the same amount, even the space difference. And then they have a 42 square meter studio that I think, again, is at 5.2. I thought the Diplomat was sold out. I think a lot of the street face views are, so that would suck, because Kai and I have street facing stuff. Kai has one of the best units in the whole building. Fred, I really feel a little uncomfortable quoting prices. So you're saying furnished? I don't know what the Airbnb market is, because someone will quote you what the gross number is, right? Like the gross number might be something crazy. It could be like 150,000, right? But does it rent the whole month furnished? I don't know. And then what's your turnover cost? Like the Airbnb, a lot of people got into that in the US, and now the government regulation is what really hurt Airbnb in the US. But people saw the top end number, but you don't know what it comes with. Risk with you know, a lot of turnover, people having a party, damages, cleaning, people stealing stuff, the wear and tear on the property. There's a lot to think about on furnished rentals that's not to be thought about on unfurnished. So I'd be very careful to the gross number doesn't mean a lot. How much will a furnished studio rent for in Westlands? Between 120 and 150, I think. But I'm not super confident on my numbers that I'm quoting you. Ryan, Ella. Oh my goodness, Ryan, you're a catch. You hear me? Someone's going to hit the jackpot. Oh, thank you.
Oh.
You know what? That's a funny thing. Kenya, the thing about Kenya is choosing. You know, that's the hard part. Because you know, you can have anything, but choosing, challenging, very challenging. And then how do you retire?
City boy, city boy.
You know. Also, I'm a little less of a catch. I'm telling you, I got fat, man. It's not looking good for me. I looked in the mirror. I said, "Oh no, I can't." And I finally got down, and I was getting fit, looking good. It's not looking good. Clothes not fitting right. Ugh, yuck. So we got to get that fixed. I know the ladies act like they don't care, but I care. I care. But I appreciate it. Thank you. Guys, I'm pretty much out of things to talk about. Do y'all think Austin was shooting at me directly, or he just, you know? And again, I like him. I don't. It's not even a big thing. You know. But yeah, I don't know. It's funny. But if I was irrelevant, why are they shooting at me? You know. But I just stay in my lane. I just do my thing, living the life. I just want to get some cows, get some land, some cows. The women in Kenya overwhelm me. Too many. I know. Like the first time I came, it was like I was unprepared. I didn't know how to handle it. I didn't know how to manage my schedule. I never had to manage a schedule like that. And I'm not like I do okay in the US, but goodness gracious. Kenyan woman will make you feel valued properly. Taking playful shots, yes. He may look up to you. Who knows? Yeah, and dude, to travel the world and take all that risk to do that is amazing. You know. And he got older guys looking up to him. You know, can you withdraw your investment gains from Kenya in USDs or Europe and transfer them abroad without major paperwork or delays? That's very complicated because where's your money? Where are you putting the money? You know. That come next week and ask that. That's a perfect question to ask FKC Legal, Franklin and Abdi, because I don't know what they're gonna say. Like, because remember, I don't know if you're in the. Oh yeah, you said USD or Europe. U.S. taxes are crazy; they'll follow you. But how can you ethically avoid those taxes if you can? I definitely would if I can. If I buy at 65K in Westlands, how much can I sell it? Dude, like, okay. That is not a good way. That question, that's a bad question. Anyone that answers that question to you is being irresponsible. Because, and I'm not coming at you, I'm just saying, like, I'd be very, very cautious to look at things in that way. If you, and now I'm gonna contradict myself a little bit. If you put something that has 3 years, like if a project's announced, and it usually takes about 3 years, 2.5 years, if you book it, by the time it's completed, it'll probably be worth at least 2 million more, probably. Oh no. What happened to my camera? 1 second. Hold on, let me fix it. Oh. I'll be right back. Oh, it's green now. Hold on. I gotta fix the white balance. Woo. Anytime someone asks, how fast can I flip my money? How fast, like stuff like that, I'd be just be careful. Because 2 years, the election's coming up, And that could drastically change the market, at least temporarily. So I'd be careful about that. But probably 2 million increase from the time that you book it to the time that it's completed. I don't think Austin was throwing shots, but if he was, that means you're bigger than you think. That's a good. I know it's fun. I'm just playing. Transfer the money to another African country account. Did you check out Venus Oak and Kilauea? Have I been there? The name sounds familiar, but I don't think I've been there. Not really. I think what he says is pretty relatable. Wait, who's Akbak? Who are you responding to? I didn't even see that comment. Okay, anyway. Any other questions, guys? What's going on? You know, I hope you guys have the rest of your Sunday planned out. You're going to have a nice time if you're in Kenya. I hope you're having a good night. I hope you have a good Monday. You know, the traffic start up Monday is going. That's when everything starts picking up. All I'm trying to do is lose weight and figure out what I'm doing with this real estate business here on the state side. I would love for someone that's a real young, motivated person to come in and take the operational role for sure. After independence, laws restricting freehold and land ownership by non-citizens were meant to protect Kenyans from losing their land again, not to exclude, but to safeguard what was fought for. Totally respect that. I get that. Yeah. And laws take a while to update, and you know, and I get it. You know, ancestral land is a real important thing. But my question is, how does that interact with, like, if someone wants to sell their ancestral land? Do they have the right to do so? And is it okay if I buy it? Or is that like a bad thing, you know? Let me see. We got Willis Wilson, member for a month. Oh, someone asked about the truck. Hold on. Ha became a member. Shout out to you. Hopefully you get value. It's a little off season right now on the membership, but it's all good. Willis Wilson, $10 super sticker. Thank you. $5 super chat. Yeah, marry into land. I need to find a Kikuyu lady for that in Kiambu County. Dang, I know some too. Okay. Anyway.
City boy,
oh no.
city boy.
Jesse Whitehorn, $10 super sticker. Thank you. Darnell said, get the likes up. $2. Appreciate you. Mike. See, Mike looked like he in shape. I need to take a Gymshark picture when I'm done. I can see you opening up a real $5. Thank you. You can see me open a real estate brokerage. I might. But see, this is the thing. I think, you know, you see Kia does all that stuff with Traverse. I'm like, maybe it makes sense just to collab rather than everyone trying to build their own thing from the floor, you know? So that's kind of been my considerations, whether and Kia, the cool thing about Kia Traverse Culture, her employees are Kenyan. So that's an important thing to me as well. So I don't know. And, you know, I've never spoken to her. So I don't know. I don't know if she'd be open to it. She might be like, we're good. But definitely something to look at. Darnell, as a heavy set, which you don't look heavy set in this picture. Bald man myself, are women still interested? Of course, I got the money as well. I'm playing on a diet after getting my oxtail. Yeah, I think you won't have no problems. But you know what's funny? Them Passport Bros and Jay Rello, he came there and he didn't know how to talk to the ladies. They're not just going, like, these ladies are sophisticated. They got respect for themselves. You can't talk to them any kind of way. You do need to be a gentleman. But actually, Black Americans on average, I think on average, but we're pretty accommodating to the ladies in general, I think. Just because we're, in the US, you got to do a lot. So they're going to appreciate that here. I'm telling you, Secret. Oh, messing with Secret. Prince America Ninja Travels. I think I'm saying that right. Became a member. He's a regular, but now he's a member. Shout out to you. And Kia, $2. Thank you from Traverse Culture. We're going to talk. All right, let me look around. Venus Oak says they have the biggest 3 and 4 bedroom and study room DSQ. Only You has big ones. Blossoms Ivy also is big. Killer Lace, I really like that one. So those are some other options as well. Collaboration, exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's hard though. We all have our own different ideas and want to do things differently. The cool thing about the space that I'm in is it's kind of more for fun and to be productive. Of course, I want to make money and the business got to make sense, but maybe it's a little easier to collaborate when I can be a little less opinionated and just stay in my lane and, do whatever. I don't know how things will work out. But I've also been in communication with some Kenyan companies about collaborating. So we'll see. All right, guys. It's been fun. I think we covered a lot. We're up to 1,000 views, 18 minutes average watch time, which is cool. I think we had like 95, maybe 100 people at 1 second. Do you have any travel plans to Zanzibar? It's another real estate. Too touristy for me. Would I go there to visit? Sure. I'm not interested in the touristiness. Also, Tanzania is passing weird laws about, like, Tanzania has a communist socialist like origin story that makes it very unappealing on a business side for me. Which they can do that. I'm not super interested other than maybe just to visit. Collaborate with Rello. No. Like I tried, like I didn't know he was going to do all that. Sigma male method. Bless up. Hey, appreciate you. Appreciate the support, man. You're always in here. I always appreciate it. And everybody, thank you so much. It's been fun. I look forward to these. Oh, here's another one. Do you think opening a company to own the real estate and do stock investments is a good idea? I actually have an account that has some investments for Kenyan like equities, like kind of like a mutual fund thing. I don't want to talk about it till I have more experience with it, but I like what I see. I wouldn't make it my primary investment vehicle. As far as opening a company to own the real estate, there's a lot of benefits to doing that. Again, this will be a really good question for next Sunday with Franklin and Abdi. There's a lot of reasons to do it. There's some not to do it. So it just depends. Taxes, the legal ownership, entity, etc. There's a lot to talk about with that. You can get residential visa if you invest. Yeah, but there's cheaper ways to do it than that one. That's probably the worst one to get, to be honest. Like if you qualify for any of the other ones, it's better. Well, stack. Peace, Ryan. Peace, chat. Where's Rollo now? He got home safe. He did a live, and I think he disappeared. I have to catch most of this live on replay. The Nairobi lady had me out here. Okay.
I like this right here.
Sunday well spent. Hey, thank you. Freedom, a small part of me thinks he's still stuck in. No, he did a live when he was back. Thank you, Ryan. Enjoy Jersey. I'll try to enjoy it. Thank you for your participation. And I appreciate you. All right, guys. See you later.
Blood out.
I don't have a good one for leaving, huh? See you, kidding. All right, see ya. Thanks.